and welcome to the LPL Mid-Winter Cup featuring Fortnite presented by Pringles. We're broadcasting live to you from the Sky Tower in Auckland City. I am Jordan Tinney, joined here today by Joel Strykerr. Joel, thank you so much for joining me today.
And thank you for having me, Jordan. Very excited to get things underway.
It's going to be an absolutely massive day and the first day of the Mid-Winter Cup. We're doing the Duos tournament today. We should have a look at that format and see what people will be competing for out there. And as you can see, we've got eliminations with 20 points. Top 25 will secure 60 points. Top 15 and top 5 will each get 30 points on top of that, along with a victory royale with 60 points. What do you think about that, Joel?
Top 25 is a very safe 60 points. A lot of people are going to be aiming for that.
It's going to look like a lot of survivability with people pushing for those final zones. Let's check out the prize pool. They'll be competing for 2,500 Australian dollars, with the first prize securing $1,000, second securing 500, third and fourth getting 300, fifth and sixth getting 125, seventh and eighth with 50, and ninth and 10th with 25. What do you think you'd be competing for out there, Joel, if you were playing?
If I was out there today, I'd be going for that 1,000.
Yeah, 1,000. I like that confidence. I myself think I could probably push for that 300. What do you think we're going to be seeing as people compete for that top prize?
I think we're going to be seeing a lot of safe placement, and then if people really want to struggle for more points, they can go for eliminations.
It's going to be pretty massive. Let's check out what these players who are competing in today's duos look like. So here we have the round one qualified players for the duos. We have Twitchbunk from Melbourne and Perth, and Tide-esque along with Revenge from Waihi Beach, New Zealand, Joel. That's crazy.
All the way out from Waihi. Better have good internet out there.
Hopefully they have good ping. We've got round two. We've got 60 plus ping. Aim Assist and Team Hubba Bubba from Auckland, New Zealand. It's good to see all these New Zealand teams out there.
It really is.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting stuff. Round three of our qualified players. We have the best of both worlds from Perth, Trim from Adelaide, and Godly. Best of both worlds. So you think that's a Hannah Montana reference there, Joel?
Well, we'll see if Hannah Montana can play some Fortnite.
Hopefully. And here's round four. We have the 7-Eleven workers from Melbourne and Curbs up from Sydney and Melbourne, along with Depression Unknown in Brisbane, Queensland. A lot of variety out there, Joel.
Really is.
It's going to be exciting to see what they actually do. So we're going to check out this match first. But Joel, what do you think we're going to see from these players? Are we going to be seeing turtling? Are we going to be seeing builds? Are we going to be seeing the use of that TAC SMG?
I really think with the reintroduction of the TAC SMG, Pump plus TAC is going to be a deadly combo out here today.
It's going to be pretty heavy, along with the heavy sniper also providing more impact for taking down turbo builds. We might be seeing a lot of people getting scuffed from those long falls.
Oh man, the heavy sniper is definitely going to be a tool we're going to see a lot of today.
We could also see the likes of Moisty Palms and Greasy Grove being in play in those final zones. Of course, they come with their own mechanics now. Moisty has the prop hunt mechanic, along with Greasy having the taco time mechanic. Do you think that'll affect players out there?
I think a lot of people could get stuck in their own builds with taco time.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting, especially if Taco Time, they've managed to build themselves up 4 high and it activates. They've got invincibility, but they'll also be dancing their butt off.
How they're going to get down, how they're going to get out of builds, how they're going to rotate.
It's going to be super interesting, along with Moisty and that prop hunt mechanic. And we are going to go live with the first game in the Mid-Winter Cup with the duos. Where are we dropping, boys? There goes everyone, Joel. They're getting ready to play.
I'd see a bit of map distribution here. We see a llama already next to Lonely Lodge and another one up behind Pressure. Already seeing a lot of players jumping out. We have 50 players. Good distribution.
Everyone is going super wide. We see some people pushing up for Sunny Steps. As you can see, people were pushing for Moisty, but now they're pushing away from it, obviously avoiding that prop hunt mechanic.
I see a lot of players going towards Greasy Grove. I wonder if we'll see some landing there. We have Vandal. Looks like he's going to be landing at Fatal Fields.
They're getting ready for that drop into Fatal.
Well, maybe he's going for Lucky Landing. He's still a little bit high. We'll see.
It could be a low drop. It's going to be interesting to see who's dropping with Vandal. He definitely looks like he's pushing off towards Lucky.
Looks like he's going for Lucky, yeah. Fatal Fields was a hot drop, so I wonder if he changed his mind last minute.
It looks like his teammate is pushing towards Lucky, so they're going
Luigi with Vandal. Going to be a team to look out for. I think they're uncontested here. Might just be here by themselves. I think there's only them two at Lucky Landing. They're alone here. Now all they need to do is loot up, and hopefully they get a nice zone. Already a pump shotgun in the hands of Luigi, as well as an SMG. Bit more ammo too.
Just have to point out that chat is saying you might need a Red Bull soon there, Joel. But hey, he's aware, he's ready, he's waiting for those Fortnite elims to get ready. Do you think anyone's going to going to
We
go
do
for that
see
early
we
kill.
do see a team in the temple next to Lucky Landing. I wonder if we'll see them engage.
It looks like YT are pushing off towards the formerly known as Borderlands area.
Looks like they are moving over. I don't think the Borderlands area is still there. I wonder if there's still some good loot there. I remember there being a gas station, but let's see.
It's also interesting to see how wide that moisture mechanic goes.
And all the way up the top of the map, we see YL Rayab with already a suppressed Scar in his inventory. No shotgun, though.
Heavy first shot accuracy on that. They're following their teammate by the looks of it around Lazy Lagoon.
Yeah, working their way around the edge of the map, just trying to scrape together some loot. Maybe they got out of a tricky situation. They had to ditch their initial drop spot.
Yeah, it's very high potential. Everyone's avoiding it. So of course, we've got 46 people in play at the moment with 23 teams active. So now we're in Frosty.
Now we see 3 players in Frosty. I wonder who the teammates are. I think GZK and Astrology might be together. Minor Lymph, where's his teammate?
I think we've possibly lost Minor Lymph's teammate there.
He's alone here. He does have that tag SMG that we were talking about, and a purple SMG might get this tactical shotgun. Let's see if he can clutch it out. Just trying to get some loot together. Great Revolver's not really going to help. There's some minis, though. Already full shield for Minor Lymph.
And as we can see, Minor Lymph is still just holding that background. I don't know if they know those players are there, but they've gone for a pop.
I think his teammate's up above. Another minor player up above. There's no more zipline, says. Ziplines still aren't in the game, so it's going to be very hard for him to come back together with his teammate.
A lot of loss of mobility there. It's going to be interesting to see if he builds down, or will Minor Lymph actually build up towards his teammate. It's a high possibility of engagement too. He's avoided the zapper traps, which was really interesting. That could have given them an early advantage with any build battles coming up.
I think that their new trap can definitely make a difference in the end game, but early game I'm not too sure.
Yeah, as you can see, there's the format for today's competition. Elimination, securing that 20 points per elim. That's going to be crazy for people who actually want to get aggressive and push into the game, as we can see from Minor Lymph right now.
Getting some early high ground. Might be able to find an angle here on the staircase. Other play coming up, GZK.
Crazy to see what happens from here.
Oh, taking shots back and forth. Minor Lymph still has plenty of HP though. His teammates here to help too, using the chug splashes, get back up to that full shield.
That's
breaking down. Astrology and his teammate might just try to get out of here. Looks like they're running. Might save this battle for another day, but no, coming back. Astrology looking for an angle. His teammate's already on height.
Looks like they were wanting to avoid
one
that.
HP goes down.
It ended up getting the elim and secured the elim.
There's that 20 points. Damn, both dead. Minor boys going down.
Unfortunately out.
Astrology is still 100 HP. Astrology with just a shotgun. Looks like he soloed that fight with just a shotgun. No AR, no SMG. That's all he needed, that tactical shotgun.
Shotgun wins the game there. It's crazy. As we can see, Vascology just keeping his teammate under wraps there while his teammate heals.
3 big shields, that's going to be huge. Get that shield back, get that rotation going. Also, Astrology might want to pick up another gun. I don't think a shotgun's the only weapon you need. Lots of grenades, 10 grenades.
And here's a replay of that fight that just went down between Team Minor and Vascology and his team.
Looks like Minor Lymph ran out of materials there and just had to ditch building the fight. That's what caused them the loss there. They
had a lot of healing items too, so they definitely gave that round to their opposition.
See, Alpha Silent and Soxy outside of New Greasy. I wonder if they're trying to look for anyone in there. Greasy looks very quiet though. Very quiet.
And we've got YouTube Chenga possibly running into Soxy and Alpha. Except, are we dealing with a possible third party?
Chenga looks like he's running. He's got nothing.
Chenga obviously had a very bad drop, and that's not great for them.
He's trying to get to his teammate, Bluff in the distance, next to the chair with full shield. Actually, might be coming to try to save him. Looks like he might just get out of there though.
Just want to make a special shout out to Hashu. Strykerr has noticed you, but he's also just watching this fantastic Mid-Winter Cup featuring Fortnite Duos tournament.
Thick Boy Cloudy without a shotgun here, coming down from Polar Peak, might be able to catch some people off guard in Greasy here.
I see 2 junk items, so both junk rifts were used by whoever had those.
Launchpad has been placed as well. Looks like there was an engagement here, and looks like Thick Boy Cloudy's going to avoid Greasy Griff. Doesn't want to dance any taco dances today.
And Taco Time's actually just gone live. Taco Time is alive in Greasy right now. There we see the invincibility in play. Thick Boy Cloudy is getting in to Taco Time.
It's Taco Time. It's Taco Time. And it just runs out too. They're just trying to get some metal here from this basketball court. I wonder if we'll see an engagement here.
It's going to be pushing towards that opposition over across the other side of Greasy. But, you know, it looks like they can't really notice each other right now, so I don't know if it's going to happen or not.
Doki and his team, it looks like they're going to dip out here. Maybe there's still a rift by the Tiki hit for them to take and rotate. I don't think so, though.
Maybe they just don't want to deal with Taco Time reactivating for them again.
No more Taco Time for them. They opt for the disengage instead. Get their rotation. The zone is half in Greasy and half out, so I don't think we'll see any late games in Greasy this game.
No. But it could be pushing towards Moisty, which, hey, if that prop hunt mechanic is as saucy as it looks, I'd be really interested in seeing how that affects the final game.
We're going to see some interesting end zones.
We're still on Doki. Doki's just securing all that materials that they've got around them. And fortunately, by the looks of it, I can't see any rift. Oh,
there is one rift.
And they've just used it. Very nice.
Zone's going to push them away. I think they're going to stay up and see where the next zone goes and then maybe head to that.
It looks like there were two players behind them too. Whether or not they managed to secure the rift is anyone's guess. And here we are.
Fresh and Culls next to Kale and Flores. I wonder if we'll see an engagement here. Looks like Fresh and Culls might just try to loot this house. We see a shield bubble off to the left here. Was that just randomly thrown?
Possibly.
Where did that come from?
Just to empty out that slot. It looked like Flurks and Carl were just losing some health over there, though.
Carl's picks up a purple tactical SMG. That gun is an absolute laser beam.
I'm not too sure what happened to Flurks and Carl on the other side there, but with Coles inside what I like to charmingly call old people's house outside of Shifty. Oh, we see some of those random shield bubbles you were talking about there, Joel.
Looks like Fresh and Culls might can these guys out, hold them next to the zone. They need to rotate, though. They still have plenty of time, though. A minute.
They're pushing Predation and Bodlin. It's a slow and steady fight by the looks of it.
Very slow, just trying to get some chip damage in. Might try to knock these builds out. Culls with that purple tack SMG. He wants to get up nice and close. That purple tack SMG does a lot of damage.
That tack is out of control. And as you can see, even at that distance, it was punching out walls with ease.
With ease. That tack SMG is an absolute laser beam. I don't think they're going to push up, though. They're just going to wait. Very patient. They might try to back off here. Predation and his team, they just want to rotate. They're stuck here, though.
Yeah, we see about 4 or 5 different teams all surrounding each other at the moment. What's going to happen? Are they all going to try to avoid each other, or are we going to see potentially our first big battle?
I think we need to see an engagement here from Predation, trying to get some shots off. I don't think any hit, though. Maybe one hit Culls. They might try to push, though. That's what it's looking like. Trying to move forward.
Another shield bubble goes live around Coles. Who is throwing those shield bubbles?
Where are these shield bubbles coming from?
They're just coming from
It's Taco. No, wait, is it Taco Time?
No, they're out of Greasy now, so there's no Taco Time yet.
No Taco Time here.
And as we can see, Coles is pushing towards a Shifty, and Predepression is just up on the hill with his teammate.
Trying to rotate off to the right and avoid these other players.
Oh, and I did just notice that now Predepression has actually managed to secure an Elam, getting 20 points for his team.
Also has those shockwave grenades, so those can be very, very handy in the end game. Retaking high ground, rotating a little bit.
Definitely one of the best tools for mobility at the moment. They've also got a hoverboard there. Whether or not one of them is going to use it,
I don't think we're going to see any hoverboards today. Predepression does pick up a big poke, getting back up to 100 shields. Still is a oh, never mind.
Somebody used the hoverboard.
This is a hoverboard. Easy rotation. I wonder if Bodlin will get left behind.
Now we're out around Shifty shafts. Fresh and Coles are still pushing off from Shifty. Of course, they've got Predepression and Botlin just behind them. And Predepression and Botlin have run into for the win Hunnits and YL Ray B.
I wonder if they'll opt to go around the grandfather tree or up for the engagement. I think they're going around. Botlin's getting left behind though by Predepression. Oh, we see 3 teams here might converge on each other.
Here we go. Bridge is probably going to be our first biggest battleground. Predepression is engaging Soxy with his teammate. Botlin still coming through from the background.
Hunnits underneath the bridge here. He needs to rotate. All of these players need to rotate. We might see a few coming stuck in Storm. We see Hunnits jumping into the fight with an impulse grenade. We see Predepression off to the right.
A lot of zone battling right now. Everyone's taking that storm damage.
They really need to rotate here. That's the main killer here. It's not the other players, it's the storm. They need to get out of here. They need to get out of here and fast. Hunter's just trying to get out of here, using the EJ dash to speed him up.
And it's unfortunately already used their shockwave grenades too, so they've lost that long distance coverage.
Hunter's using a lot of materials here, just tunneling in, just trying to escape the storm.
They're burning it. They've got about 25 left in play, and they're burning through their mats really quickly.
All of those mats are gone, or just like that. All of that preparation for end game, it's now gone. No mats now for Hunnits, and it looks like he's just going to go down a storm.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we lose Hunnits to the storm. We do see a lot happening in the kill feed at the moment, though. It looks like the player Kenji is going in.
We have Soxy very low. I don't think Soxy's
I don't
getting
think Soxy's going to make it either.
Trying to get this kill.
Get that 20 points.
Whips the shot, freedom. Damn, it goes
And
down.
they secured the knock. They secured the knock. They've got that 20 points for their team.
20 points. We see Doki and Coles in yonder yard.
Yeah, everyone just outside in the town that used to be next to Flush Factory. We see
Kamai off in the distance. It looks like he's a solo. He lost his teammate earlier, but we see Doki and Trogon's there. Along with pre-depression, still survived that run. Still with plenty of HP too.
A big push from them. It looks like we've got a three-way battle happening right now in this town. And our first brute in play.
It looks like they ditched the mech. I wonder if pre-depression will just try to get out of here. It looks like they're opting to fight. Getting in the mech as well.
They keep rotating through who's actually driving it.
I wonder if he'll opt to run away or fight.
Did we have SD on the brute? Yes. Brute has been self-destructed.
Trugsy trying to put some pressure on so his teammate can push up. Trugsy just very, very low. Got those mini shields off though now. Opting for the launch pad to get out of there. I wonder if pre-depression will follow him.
It's going to be really interesting to see. This final zone is very weird. It's happening in the winter biome.
I don't think we're going to be pulling over to Moisty quite this game, but we're going to see an ice end zone.
I tell you, I was super excited, Joel, to see that mechanic in play in this pro format. Here we're with pre-depression, who's just managed to turtle themselves, shielded up, but now they're getting battered.
Getting pressured, running out of mats. No builds remaining. Pre-depression needs to get a kill. It's not looking good for him.
Huge
18 HP, still is his teammate, but I hope that's enough. He needs a match, he needs to get out here. Goes down to a grenade.
Down to a classic explosion. No fire on him.
Teammate goes down as well.
Taken out.
We see Blof and Chinga off to the right here, boxed up on a very, very nice vantage point. Edge of the map. This is going to be an interesting zone.
We've got Burger93 holding with their team out on the outside. FBGCK and Vascology, Blof and YouTube. Chinga. Komai is trash. Unfortunately, just taken out. Everybody is starting to turtle really hard right now, getting ready for this big final push.
Boxing up for their end game, trying to save some mats too.
We've got 11 people still in play. Everyone's just doing peaks right now.
Everyone's just kind of staying in their boxes and trying to get some peak shots, trying to get some angles, just some really chip damage.
I just want to say to chat, whoever is considering Pizza Club, do get some Pizza Club for yourself. And we're pulled out, as you can see, there's just a lot happening right now, Joel.
Here we see Luigi and Vandal, some of the first people we spectated, off to the right here, still in this game.
Everyone's securing that high point. Everyone's starting to turtle up. YouTube Chinga actually has a really great advantage with that high point.
He does. That's a very, very big build. It looks like they found out that entire house, only to rebuild it in their own materials.
That lucky bridge is the center point of this current battle. Everyone is getting ready to wait for that one person who will obviously create the first push.
Here we see Joshi actually might see this push, watching these players, waiting for an angle. That Golden Sky tearing through those builds. I wonder if we'll see an engagement here. I don't think so though. Joshi might be able to find a snipe. No angle though, no angle yet.
Joshi actually has a really great loadout with a yellow scar, blue pump, purple bolt action snipe, 2 shockwaves, and full mini shields.
Here we see an MS Ferric over here. We have Luigi and Vandal trying to get this help, which has been uncontested. It looks like the help's going to be theirs. They're getting sprayed down though. Vandal takes a shot.
Vandal and Luigi, of course, who we followed from drop. They were pretty much positioned for this final zone.
A lucky landing final zone. That's where they started. I wonder where they've been all game. Maybe they just stayed there and just
Maybe just held that zone. They were waiting, it looks like, halfway between Fatal and Lucky. They could have pushed that whole area around there and secured themselves a lot of really great loot.
And Vandal with a purple SMG as well. A lot of players opting to take this SMG.
SMG is getting ready to hammer down the builds that people are starting to turtle themselves off with. Everyone's just holding this high zone, you know, playing it really safe. Of course, we're going to be waiting for the next couple of zones where they'll probably go really crazy.
It's just a waiting game now. People are just waiting for the zone, seeing if they have to rotate. Hopefully they don't, but we'll see.
That's, of course, because if they do manage to win this tournament, they'll walk away with $1,000 Australian dollars. That's an insane amount of cash for this. Okay, so we've got Pina Colada.
Plenty of mats here, just boxing up under his teammate, just they're in zone.
Looks like Burger and Pina Colada just getting ready for this final battle.
Chug Splash going off, a very, very useful tool in these end games. Exactly. Chug Splash is some of the best mids in the game right now.
Due to format at the moment, we have no siphon, so everyone's actually have to play this much, much safer than usual. Much
safer. Here we see like that exactly. A lot of shield here, a lot of players just like holding their own, holding their ground, staying still. UDK we see in a very big turtle. Maybe that's because he's by himself. He's being very careful. Here we see a Scology. He still has his 10 grenades. Those are going to be very useful. I think we're going to see him throw them here against these wooden builds. Very weak. I think he's going to throw all of them.
He just really wants that build.
Gets a tag. I think he's going in. He's getting sprayed though. Down. Gets absolutely lasered. A Scology goes down. It's up to his teammate GZK now.
Big third party from the side.
Going for the res now. I wonder if they'll get pushed. It looks like they're getting pushed.
Colada and Burger, they're pushing in.
We see the fight. Pina Colada pushing in already. That's a very quick job. Another third party comes out. All these sprays. We see a jump rift as well. GZK pushing up. Pina Colada trying to find an angle, just going up and up and up. Trying to find an angle here. He wants this fight. He wants this kill.
Massive amount of aggression from Pina Colada right now.
GZK goes down, but it's still getting sprayed from this other team.
It's going to be massive. I love what Colada's doing right now with this aggression.
Finds a snipe, just a body shot though. Drigsy's on very, very low HP. Joshy flying in as well. Everyone's trying to get into this zone.
Burger, Pina Colada's teammate, is still alive, and Burger looks to be engaging Joshy_NZ down the bottom. We're starting to see that big battle taking place right now. Everyone's starting to get aggressive. The builds are happening quickly, and everyone's just tunneling everywhere.
Look at all these builds, all these mats that they saved up from the early game. They're coming into play now. This is what they've been preparing for. All of these mats, all of this ammo, all of this time is for this moment.
They're getting that tunnel on the outside with Colada, Burger, Osti, and Joshy. That's a huge tunnel. And of course, we've got Chenga and Doki out on the outside with their teammates.
Pina Colada holding strong. Still is these impulse grenades that I was talking about before. Wait, Joshy goes down. They're in a fight. Osti's by himself now.
See Colada?
Grenades was here.
Colada's got 83
down,
builds.
20 points. Just collecting some loot. Pina Colada just in a very safe spot here. Never mind getting sprayed down from the right here.
Massive TP off the side there. This is it. It looks like this is what the final teams look like.
We see Blof and Chenga just tunneling across this river, but we see an impulse grenade coming out, sending Doki more into the river. Very low now, only 20 HP and 4 shit. Gets his wall replaced, gets the ramp down, the ramp's replaced, and goes down.
Lost that sloop juice. They were trying to get that sloop juice off in time.
They were trying to do anything. The panic set in, and Doki goes down.
Doki's down. There we go. Now, interestingly enough, we actually had some more players just on the outside of that.
The zone's getting very small very quickly. Carl's and Fresh holding strong just about in the center of the zone. I wonder if they'll opt to use their middle and their brick now. The middle and the brick is much stronger than the wood here. It's much more easy for that TAC SMG to just spray through and tear through those builds.
Exactly. We're starting to see middle and brick starting to be used because everyone wants to hold their ground. We see Blof actually manage a great hit, and then Flux gets taken down.
He's going to claim this loot. And this thing, they're getting sprayed on by that TAC SMG. Tears through a shield. Gonna have to use those mini. Mini still has a great attack.
Look at that though. They've got 195 builds. They're definitely ready for this final.
They have a lot of materials. The zone's getting really small now. Go back in the storm to try and get some more loot, but gets immediately punished by that TAC SMG.
They've got some really great loot though, and they've got one Chug Splash still engaged. As you can see, we got Pika Squat starting to get that top build going.
We see a lot of players like establishing their place in this final zone. And people aren't contesting this height. Luigi and Vandal on the height. Their game is looking very, very good right now. Luigi, interestingly, doesn't have an AR, but I mean, everyone's up close now, and you need that SMG.
Yeah, we just see a waterfall from Luigi. It's these two. It's been amazing since we've been watching them since the start. And, you know, they're really reinforcing that survivability mechanic you were speaking of there, Joel. They've survived.
They have survived very well. This could have been a completely different game for them. Like, imagine if the zone was at pressure, you know, at the top of the map. They would have had to rotate quite a way, but they got to stay here. They got to gear up. Everyone else came to them. They didn't need to go to anywhere else.
They could just stay and hold this zone the whole time, and they really have.
Looks like Burger's trying to knock them down, but there are a lot of builds there. I hope they secured themselves.
Burger's just really trying to punch through that build.
Look at how high up they are. It looks like they're connected though. That waterfall from Luigi actually connected them to more builds, so they're not getting knocked down here. They're not getting knocked down there. No, they're up there. They're strong. It's
a really great tactic that was used by Luigi to actually secure it with the waterfall.
Triggsy just 45 HP, no shield, no campfire, nowhere to heal. Him and his teammate are struggling down here. These last zones are unforgiving.
Oh,
damn,
massive
a clean shot.
Oh.
Taking down UDK, but no siphon in this one. Needs to get that mid kill off and fast.
That was an absolutely massive pump from Trongzi. They're healing up now. They've still got 6 traps in their bag. Hey, they could save that for a really fun moment at the end there.
Just want to mention 5 kills for Triggsy. Goes up with the impulse, but they're not contesting this high. No way. Van Luigi, actually another player flies up. Pina Colada, but gets punished for that heavily. Luigi's holding this height hard. Vandal's down below, but Luigi's on high. Just throws a chug splash at the enemy. That's an interesting strategy there.
It would confuse anyone to see your enemy healing you, but it looks like that Burger 93 may have just dropped there.
Look at this high distribution. All trying to squeeze into this final zone. Vandal's up high, pressuring other players with that purple tack SMG. That's done some work this game, picking him up 1 kill and plenty of placement points too.
I don't think Colada's going to manage to push through that. Vandal and Luigi have done an incredible job of securing height.
They sure have. It looks like Luigi is going to just stay up on height and plays HP. He has a lot more HP than every other player in this lobby. Luigi's my favorite to win right now.
We just saw at least 3 players.
Luigi with the campfire. He's got the heal game. He's got the campfire. And
there it is.
There it is, just like that. Didn't even need the heal game.
Survivability, as you said, Joel. Luigi and Vandal have secured the first victory royale.
Taking out game 1 with 4 points. 4 kills, rather.
It's massive. That's Luigi and Vandal securing the first duos match here on the LPL Mid-Winter Cup. Massive game out there.
Massive game for them. Plenty of that 180 placement points.
That's insane. And, you know, it's funny to see that they reinforced what we were talking about when we said people are probably going to be going for survivability. They went for it.
They definitely had the zone in their favour. They're having a lucky landing. They were very lucky indeed.
Yeah, they held that zone in between lucky and fatal. They just played the game exactly as it should be played.
They played their game. Everyone else played theirs. Theirs was better. They stayed in lucky. They had the zone. They had the position. They had everything they needed. And they capitalised on that.
Yeah, did you see any other players out there that did something interesting or caught your eye?
I think that shot against UDK was very clean. That one pump, my goodness.
Oh, chef's kiss. Massive, possibly 180, could be through to 210, but it instantly got UDK. That was insane.
One shot nonetheless.
Okay, let's see if we can check out the standings, or are we going to throw to break and then check out the standings? Yeah, we're going to work on the standings, so join us after the break and we'll see how everyone looks in the LPL Mid-Winter Cup. Kia ora and welcome back to the LPL Mid-Winter Cup featuring Fortnite, presented by Pringles. You're joining us here live from the Sky Tower. I am Jordan Tinney, joined by Joel Strykerr Simpson. If you're just joining us after that first game, massive survivability, a lot of happening in that final zone.
Very dominant performance from Luigi and Vandal. They're taking out that win with 4 kills. That's plenty of points. Solid first game.
It's a really good, solid first game. We also saw the likes of Poopburger 93 and Trongzi, each of them securing 6 elims individually. That's a massive. And they got 10 kills all up. That's massive.
It's huge. Lots of points for eliminations there, but placement still very dominant.
A lot of people holding off that aggression until the final zone, and that's where it really started to just go a little bit crazy.
That's where those points really start to count. Players just racking up kills, fragging out, getting 20 after 20 after 20.
It's insane. We're still working on the standings at the moment, but there's a high potential that even though Waluigi and Vandal secured that victory royale, it might not be enough.
4 kills wasn't a lot, but I think they played it safe, went for placement. I think this is the way to go for them. They're getting that safe placement. If they ever need to catch up, maybe kills is the way to go.
Hey, if they secure another royale, that's more than enough to keep them at top. So we're about to go live with match 2 of the LPL Mid-Winter Cup. Here we go. Where are we dropping, boys? Let's see.
See a llama like close to the middle of the map, and he was seeing another very spread
where everyone actually dropped. They saw that.
I wonder if we'll see anyone going greasy.
Will we see taco time again?
Taco time? More taco time? I like taco time. I like tacos.
I love tacos.
I wonder if these players like tacos too.
Okay, we see a couple of people actually pushing out towards Junction, which is a hot spot.
We see a hot drop. I think they're going to be uncontested there. They're that uncontested there. Those hot drops, they have some very, very strong loot, can definitely make a difference.
Some very strong purple and yellow weapons can drop in those hotspot zones. We also see a couple of people dropping one of my favorite drops, Haunted Hills.
Very strong. That's a very strong drop. We see one teammate at the houses next to Haunted Hills and another up at the castle. Funnily enough, we don't see any players in Moisty Palms.
They were pushing on the outside.
Here we see Tilted Town. Just a reminder, you cannot build anything here. You cannot break anything here. We see Minor Spider here. And
it looks like it is Minor with the Senjudo or is an opposition.
Here we see a blue 6-shooter weapon you can only acquire while in Tilted, and Minor Spider's a slurp ticking. He needs a shotgun though. Sniper's not quite it.
I will say that it is fun to drop Tilted because you get that really luxurious coat on your skin.
Very, very nice, and even no skins can have somewhat of a skin.
I just want to say a shout out to all of Stryker's chat who's actually joined us here today. Thank you for supporting ya boy. Joel, what do you want to say to them?
Much love. Thank you to everyone who's tuning in from my community.
And now we're here in Pressure Plant. We've got people flying all over the place.
We see Yeti, who already has some nice loot. He's already picked up a kill.
Secures themselves 20 points. They're going to float back across and possibly engage those 2 people over there.
See, Aussie might find a sniper and then whiffs the snipe shot. Might be able to find a final shot though. Aussie doesn't have a lot of HP remaining. Trying to find a shot with that AK. Looks like he's going in. He does have that purple tack. That purple tack shotgun is very, very effective up close. Might be able to find him here. Might be able to find an angle in this doorway here. And finds it, goes down.
One hit.
Final shot, one hit.
That was super clean. Yeti pushing aggressively.
Yeti now has 50 shield, has a purple tag, blue AR.
I think they're ready for whatever fight is coming to them next.
I wouldn't want to be fighting Yeti. He's getting some metal together too. He's got a very, very solid game plan. He's got the loot. He just needs the mats now.
Here we go with the replay. As we can see, Yeti gets super aggressive with that. As Joel was saying, you know, with the sniper shot, but then gets a nice tag with the heavy.
And after this, he whips his final shots, but he knows he has this purple tack, and that's so effective close range. That shotgun packs on some heavy damage.
Yeah, Austin didn't get that back wall up in time. They tried to do an edit, popped out, bang.
That was it.
Game over for Austin.
See Yeti farming up these pallets, so that gives so many materials. Moving over to
Lazy Lagoon.
Lazy Lagoon here. We see 2 players. Some more Minor boys, Minor Bird and Minor Sad with another player from Wrath, the same organization that.
Yeah, it's Luigi's brother, Mario.
Luigi's brother Mario, that's the one.
It's me. Mario was trying to hold off, just try to spook those 2 players out on the boat at the moment.
Look at these shields. They both have full shield already.
Don't have many builds though. They should still be farming up resource, but it's I think they want those kills.
Mario has a sniper who's trying to look for an angle. If you can get some early damage in there, that could be a push. That's a potential 40 kills there.
Yeah, that's going to be massive for their points.
Here we see 2 players. We see Burger, one of our highest fragging players in the first game, with 6 kills. Gets 1 tag on
Unix. Yep. We're down here in Happy Hamlet.
I wonder if we'll see the shield bubbles come into play in this fight. I think he wants to be more aggressive rather than defensive. Looks like he's going to throw it on his teammate. Well, he pushes up maybe. Trying to find an angle here to throw it. Opts not to, actually.
Here we go. We're just checking out these 2 different points of view. We've got PoopBurger93 watching the opposition and QNX just looking down at them.
QNX just watching, waiting, holding its height, opts for the disengage.
Oh, and PoopBurger made a good play with the shield bubble to try to just trap them in there. And
it looks like they were throwing the shield bubble on so they couldn't shoot them. Will they push up?
Exactly, trying to keep that, keep them contained. They're definitely going for the...
They're going for the chase.
They want
these kills. They want their 40 points. Another shield bubble goes down, eliminating any chance of a third party. PoopBurger putting a very interesting trap down there.
Hey, it's stopping them from moving one direction.
Very weak. QNX goes down. PoopBurger gets that 20 points. Now it's a 2v1.
As Joel was saying, Burger93 was one of our top standing elims in the last round with 6 elims, and it looks like they might be trying to go for it again.
Let's see if he can do it again this game. We see Mistake getting a shot. If he fails it, it goes down.
There it is.
Mistake going down a Burger.
They got those kills, and
the L dance. You'll love to see it.
Kalada and PoopBurger hitting
That's
them
what
with
it's
the
all about. Burger already with 2 kills, working up again for that 6 like last game. Let's see it.
Shout out to Hope Melody saying to Strykerr, drop tilted, stay tilted, do not leave tilted. I think we saw some people leave tilted though.
I think we've seen a lot of players leave tilted. One of my favorite places to land, but Happy Hamlet, a better option for Burger here with 2 kills.
There's a huge amount of mats that can be acquired in this area. As you can see, Burger's already on 40 builds, which is more than enough to, survive into those final zones.
The only thing Burger is really missing here is a shotgun. Didn't need it in this fight, though.
No, here we go with the replay. Seeing Kalada and Burger push in on Mistake. Boom.
Just like that.
Absolutely out.
And there's that L dance.
Yeah, hits him with the L. That's the confidence we are looking for out there, and Kalada and Burger are really just presenting it to us.
Burger now has a green tac shotgun, and interestingly, the blue AK. Yeah. Not a lot of players opt to use that weapon. I wonder if he finds another. Oh, actually, here we see another fight next to the bridge near Fatal.
We just saw a big build go up there.
I think Carl's team was Pre-Depression. Pre-Depression might have gone down early. We see Fresh and Blow.
It might actually be. No,
actually, Chenga.
Yeah.
Where's Chenga? He needs to help his teammate.
Chenga is nowhere near Blof at the moment.
Where's the teammate? Where's the support? Blof is going down to these sting bombs. 9-4 goes down to the sting bombs. There it is.
Yeah, if you smelt it, you dealt it, and unfortunately the person who smelt it was Blof.
Those stink bombs, they really did some work there. Blof got stuck in them, couldn't get out, couldn't find an angle to get out. We see Chenga, who's nowhere to be seen. Poor Blof.
Rejoined Chenga, who's right across the map.
Carl's getting some really chip damage here on Pika Squeak. Push up. We see some grenades thrown right back at them, though. Slowing that push. Only for a second, though, as Carl's trying to get some more shots in. I wonder if he'll opt to use these chug splashes before the fight starts.
Coles is just holding back with their teammate Fresh.
Here we see the chug splashes.
They're healed up. They're in a great position in terms of actual health and shields right now, but the weapons on Coles.
We see a lot of grey, we see a lot of green. We see some shields, though.
2 50 pots on Coles, that's massive.
Coles pushing up. He's going to hide in these builds. Maybe he can get the jump on someone. Kind of just wandering around, trying to find a good angle, find a good shot. Here we see Trixie trying to find an angle here.
And of course, Trixie was one of our other highest elim kills in the last game with 6, along with PoopBurger93.
Well, he's got a long way to go if he wants to pull a repeat for this game. He's on 0 kills right now, and so is his teammate.
And as we can see, Coles has picked up a hoverboard, but they are loud, and he is getting lasered.
Laser Coles down. Still got shield, though. Might opt to take this half bot. Damn, his teammate's very weak as well. Here we see Doki and Trixie might want to opting to not push up instead for the rotation. Very, very smart. Wow. They want to play the long game. They don't need this 20. They're going to get that victory royale. They're going to get that 60 later on.
Especially with that 6 elims on Trongzi from the last game. It's interesting to see how far outside of zone they actually are at the moment.
I'm very interested as to why they didn't take their fight, and they actually had 2 launch pads. That's why.
Here we
Pre-depression
have
here
a
in the
massive
retail.
fight at the moment.
Tobacco TV and also 1, 2, 3. It's kind of holding their own. I wonder if we'll see any zombies interfere with these fights. I don't think so. There are none nearby.
No, there are actually still a few pillars in place, but you can't see any zombies down there at the moment.
No zombies interfering with this fight. Here we see
a Zapper just went
down. A Zapper
down.
trap.
Well, nice work.
Scared off Pre-depression real quick.
Yeah. A great reaction from Pre-depression there. They heard it go down and quickly jumped off that build.
He wasn't keen on that. I wonder if they'll opt to just launch pad out of there, or if they'll take the fight.
Here we see the 2 points of view. We've got pre-depression across from ASA, a 1-2-3 pick.
It looks like they're just going to go for the disengage. I think they want to play it safe. They want to play the long game. Pre-depression actually already has a golden RPG. Here we see that retail loot advantage. They have launch pads. They have golden scars.
Golden scars, blue tack. That's blue tack and tub. That's it. That's that combo you were talking about.
The attack SMG. Here we see another fight. Burger in another fight. This man is hungry for kills.
They're pushing up to YT Playtech. That build has gone up, and is Burger going for? Yeah, they're trying to destroy it.
Chop it down. Trying to get these players down. Can't get it though.
Colada is still alive, so they're just holding this zone.
Looks like he's going to bring the builds down here. No, they're connected.
Oh, they're
the weird thing Burger can't figure out. He's trying to do something from the ground. He's trying to support his teammate, but we're not seeing it. Pina Colada dropping down, rekindling, coming back to his teammate rather.
Yeah, and Playtech, actually Playtech has done an amazing job of holding that top zone.
He has. Oh, Burger here getting stuck. There's a launch pad down. He needs to get out of here. Also, a low launch.
He got
getting across this river here. It wasn't a high launch, it wasn't a far launch, but it was enough. Looking back, trying to get... Looks like he's going to opt for the rotate instead. Pina Colada trying to get some shots on.
Shout out to Burrito OCE. Yes, Stryker's voice, though. I 100% agree. We're still on Colada and Burger 93. Getting out of that zone. They're surviving. He's just dropped some mini shields for his teammate.
It's very kind of him. I wonder if we'll see these chug splashes as well early. They could be very, very good for that end game. Last game we saw Luigi actually hold his chug splashes right until the end, right for that heal game. I wonder if we'll see that here from Burger or if we'll use them early.
But he's got a full stack. He's got 6 ready to go. So I think he's going to hold that for the final zone as we keep running through. And now we've joined on Miner and Nymph.
Looks like they're going for the revive here. Here we see Chenga off in the distance. He doesn't have a teammate to support anymore.
He doesn't. It looks like, yep, potential res. Looking at Limp's health there.
Lots of loot here. Look at the materials. Max wood, 600 brick.
Incredible. Fendi's also got 2 elims. They've got...
That's a lot of purple.
Well, they've got plenty of mats ready to go for this.
Here we see 2 teams trying to get out of the storm, trying to rotate, but like very, very wary of each other. Just getting out of the storm here. Kamai getting pressured from up to the right here. Hunnet's underneath them. Kamai on the low ground, just trying to just not die, trying to just survive, trying to get that placement maybe.
Have we got potential third party off behind Komai?
See Soxy in one of the reseller houses.
Oh, we've got Junkrift incoming.
Junkrift incoming.
Oh.
It's Komai now just on 35 HP. Nowhere to heal except that mid kit. He's not going to go. I'm going to get enough time for that though.
Got a good tag with the Junkrift.
Might be able to get out of here with this launch pad if he gets lasered out the air though. He's 2 shots. Looks like he's a slurp ticking though. Getting that HP back. Kamai's not looking that good though. Has another launch pad for himself. And interestingly, some boogie bombs. I wonder if we'll see that in game.
Oh, I hope so. I love a good dance out there.
We're not getting taco time, or maybe we can just get some good old dancing.
Maybe we could just get some classic boogie bombs out there.
Here we see iMario.
iMario has survived, and they actually rotated from laser.
They rotated from a very, very far.
It's incredible stuff.
Far place.
We've also got Spider, Hunnets, Ray B, Trongzi, and Doki all around the outside there.
Descendant Judah trying to get on top of this team. Interestingly, he's by himself.
But hey, if he secures enough elims, that's...
He's a solo player. I wonder if we'll see him push a duo or if we'll just... He has a lot of material. Look at the material. 700 wood, max brick, 700 metal.
Oh, no, okay, he actually does have a teammate, minus Spider. Spider's just chilling out there. Oh, they were waiting for that shield pod.
So it's 3 Junkrifts. I wonder if we'll see that at in-game.
I hopefully want to see one good 200 kill with that.
I think there definitely could be an upset with those Junkrifts. They can do a lot of damage.
We already saw that do that to Komai. Komai instantly went from around 180 down to 30. That means they got a really good tag off that.
That's a lot of damage.
Massive.
Here we see iMario come in for it. Just a total, it looks like he's not going to try to get any more kills. I mean, get any kills. He's still on 0. Looks like he's going for that safe placement. It's still early days. He wants those placement points.
Looks like them and their teammate Cal YT haven't secured any kills, but of course, if they've ended up in the top 25 or top 5, they've got some healthy points on their side.
They're being smart about it. I think that their game plan in this game is just to go for placement. If they get kills, they get kills, but all they care about is placement right now. If they need to catch up, maybe they can get more kills, or maybe they're just going to focus on placement. Here we see Luigi and Vandal our previous winners on some height as well. Look at that height in a brick tower.
Okay, shout out to the pronunciation for Clinton, who is in this game at the moment. And now we're on Minor Lymph. They're all just holding their builds.
Minor Lymph, Minor Fendi just chilling on the side of the bridge. They don't need to move, so they're not going to.
No, they don't have to.
They're holding strong on this side of the bridge, above Cow and I'm Mario.
This is actually a pretty open zone, not too many high areas.
They're just going to wait for it to close in. They might be able to hold these two teams. I think not to, though. There are still 31 players remaining. A lot of players here are going to opt to play more defensively, waiting for those placement points. That's what a lot of players want here. After that safe 60 points, maybe then they'll go for kills. Maybe then they'll go for eliminations.
They'll ramp up their aggression and try to really clean out everyone as much as possible in those final zones. Because if they secure that, that's just going to be a ton of points for them.
You can pick up a lot of kills very quickly in the end game. We saw it last game. I wonder if we'll see it again this game.
I'm hoping we see, somebody else step up in place of Churangzi. And
Spider putting the pressure on. Interesting trap.
Wow, they managed to get their build broken on top.
We haven't seen many heavy snipers. I mean, maybe he's wondering if someone heavy snipes into his box. Now they're on a trap, right?
Yeah, not many people actually punching through walls at the moment.
We do see a heavy sniper on his teammate Judo, reloading that, asking for some materials. Minor Spider actually had no materials, or actually had like almost no materials there.
They weren't ready for their final zone.
Luigi and Vandal holding strong. It looks like Luigi just got tagged by an RPG plus a heavy sniper though.
Yeti's also down below them. Yeti could potentially clean out that build they're in.
Here we see that loot advantage. Look at Pre-Depression's loadout. We see that Scar. We see that RPG. We see the tack and the pump combo. This is a very strong loadout. He's got that launch pad as well. Plenty of mats.
2 slurps with a campfire. That's massive healing in the final zone.
That's a lot of healing.
That means, by the looks of it, I'd say Pre-Depression is probably trying to hold out for final zone, because if they get that high zone and get the storm coming on them, they can just chop the slurps, drop the fire. They'll actually be ready to go.
They're in a very safe spot. Look at that. Look at the high distribution as well. Like Pre-Depression is right up there. Every other player is like down low or below the bridge. Pre-Depression is up on that hill.
It is incredible that, what I love it, look at the bridge. The bridge has actually turned into a tunnel because of it.
It was a broken bridge before, but they've kind of rebuilt it a little bit.
The community has come together to rebuild the bridge.
Playtech on 6 HP, might go down a stormhead, goes down.
Playtech is
just
down.
Like that.
That was some great tags as Playtech came through the storm.
The storm isn't really pushing anyone in, but we see a lot of activity on this bridge here.
That tunnel is actually working in favor of the people holding it. It looks like it's Fendi and Lymph.
I hear a lot of shots here. Minor Spider trying to get out of there. It looks like he used a 142 tag from Troxy.
Oh, and Trongu with one of our high kills.
Trying to get that kill, securing that 20 points.
That 1 point.
Getting out of storm there. Doesn't have a lot of HP, but might try to get this med kit off.
They grabbed some boogies.
Got the boogie bombs.
Use it. Use it and become powerful.
It might not be the time for that yet. Maybe later.
Their loadout, not fantastic, but more than enough to actually survive in this final zone.
We see I'm Luigi here. I can't see his teammate though. I wonder if Luigi's alone. We don't see Mario actually either. We do see Mario actually. His name's on a Minor Spider.
Just want to make a shout out to Burrito, OCE, and Hope Melodies. If you guys want a 1v1 with Strykerr, he will be streaming after the tournament today.
I don't know about 1v1s though.
He's ready for 1v1s. So here we go. We're joined with Pre-Depression.
Trying to get some look at this height. Might pick up this kill.
They tagged in the air. Massive. Churangzi taken out by Pre-Depression. Fendi and Lymph have pushed in here, turtling as quickly as they can. That tech SMG though, punching the wall.
My goodness, they can spray through real quick. I think Pre-Depression is they're just establishing this high. Their hill is still in zone. They can stay up here for as long as they want.
They've got a fantastic position right now.
And Yeti's very low there. If Pre-Depression can find an angle, might be the end of him. Jungler goes down, but it wasn't on the height, it was on the other players.
Oh, we see 2 more players join him behind Miners. And a supply drop in. Oh,
does he secure? They caught it.
Depression secures.
And nothing fell down. There's a minigun there, another very, very strong weapon along with that tank SMG. That fire rate, the minigun can just plow through builds.
Yellow variant 2, that's actually going to be a massive tool if one of them decides to pick it up.
Wonder if we'll pick it up. See, pre-depression still on this high, just dominating. This lobby is his.
It is packed. UDK is still alive. And happy.
Still going. I wonder if we'll see some more clean pump shots this game.
I always feel bad for a person who gets clean pumped like that.
Well, maybe you've been on the wrong end of those.
I have been. It's true, Joel. Just let me live. But as you can see, we still have a lot of players on that low ground. That is insane.
We do, and this hill is still in zone. I wonder if we'll see it in the next zone too. If it is, then pre-depression might just be able to pull the win here just like that. We see Moose and Mania just flying in from the zone. They just flew in.
They put on their wings and they were like, watch out, people, we're coming for you.
They don't like rotating on feet. They can fly.
Why rotate when you can fly? We're on FBGZK at the moment.
So, purple SMG actually. This purple SMG will definitely come into handy soon. We might see GZK actually pick up some kills. He does have 0 at the moment, but hopefully he'll be able to pick up some soon. He's got those placement points, but
I'm a fan because they've got one of my favorite weapons, the blue grenade launcher. I love a good GL pop. If he manages to place that correctly, he could destroy a lot of builds out there.
Can definitely do a lot of damage, and there's a lot of builds really close to each other. The GL can definitely do some damage here.
It looks like GZK is having trouble keeping up with which ones are his builds.
Finding an open spot here, but has no mats remaining. Doesn't play, drops down on top of it, but he doesn't take no, goes down.
Schoolboy K drops in, surprises GZK.
This hill is insane, but that height is being taken. We see a jungler off to the right, but Minor Fendi just relaxing here on the mid ground. Might try to chop these players down, no.
I wonder if it might have been more advantageous for whoever used those junk riffs to actually drop them right at the top of the hill. It would have taken out a lot of builds.
Minor Fendi is just, he's pressuring Luigi here. Still as a teammate. These guys are holding strong in the mid ground. They have 3 kills between them, plenty of mats. These guys are set. Look at that, they're using their middle now. Securing their spot. I wonder if they'll use their brick. It looks like he just switched over to his brick. They're going to use all of those mats now.
Their heal game is going to be a bit off though. If they do get to that final zone, they've only got 1 campfire by the looks of it at the moment.
Maybe they can pick up some bandages. Maybe they can pick up some choke splashes. We'll see. We see a shooter bubble going down. Third party's eliminated. We see pre-depression Bolin still on high. They've held it for like 3 zones now.
Shout out to all of Stryker's stream and chat at the moment. Yes, you will see your boy later on today, so make sure you tune in. But right now, we're on the LPL Mid-Winter Cup. We've joined on Fendi and Lymph, who've just been doing a spectacular job of holding that high zone.
They've been holding their position for so long now, just waiting. They still have plenty of mats. Look at that. They've got like 1,500 mats still.
Their patience is
very good.
Absolutely out of control. They have just been focused on what they've been wanting to do. But it looks like we actually have Botlin and pre-depression also just up higher, whether or not they're going to waterfall to connect that back up. And a couple of junk riffs now go into play.
We've been seeing a lot of those junk riffs in game. I wonder if that's a strategy we're going with today. Those junk riffs can definitely knock down some plays from high ground. But here we see Cloudy on the low actually. Doesn't have many mats, doesn't have any kills. Has a pump and a suppress SMG. I wonder if he chose to suppress SMG over the tactical.
Suppress SMG does have better recoil on it.
Find out Luigi goes down.
That minigun in use absolutely took out Luigi.
This tag SMG getting plays on a high, but gets impulsed out. Pre-depression. This could be good. He has a launch pad though. I wonder if he'll get back in. Pre-depression.
Does he get into the high zone? He secures it.
Still has a 40 HP and it's second back up with that slurp juice. Has a campfire too.
That was absolutely massive. He got and his teammate had splashes.
No splash for him. They still have high.
Junk rift in play.
Running out into the zone and not get hit by that. They're holding a high. Pre-depression is playing very smart here. His teammate's actually gone down though. Ball and pre-depression is by himself, but he's on a high. He has a little bit of heal game here. He has a campfire. He has a slurp juice. I wonder if that's his game plan.
I think they're going to go for that survivability. Depression has the best
I think we're going to see it. Look at that high distribution. We see Moose in the mid ground, UDK on the low ground. Minor Fendi's going to go down to Storm here.
We see Lymph and Fendi both go down at the bottom.
Pre-depression actually has 2 campfires. It's looking very good for Moose is healing too though.
We've lost Mania in the middle and UDK is quickly losing
Pre-depression putting that L out. Wow, he must be confident.
Confident.
But goes down. Moose takes it out. Looks like he's taking his own out today.
Moose held that middle area. And there we see, yes, you hit us with the scenario. Congratulations to Moose.
Kills. That's 6 kills total.
6 kills
plus
total.
The win.
That is a massive tally of points. As you can see, there's a format on the side, everyone. So they've secured a whole massive amount of points. A big congratulations to Moose for holding that middle ground. Wow, they did a spectacular job of actually securing that spot.
I really thought Pre-Depression had it, but no, he's taking his own L today.
I think Pre-Depression also thought they had it with that little L dance they did at the top there towards the end. 2
campfires in a slope just wasn't enough.
Just wasn't enough. And as you could see, Moose actually, along with their teammate, had 6 eliminations. 6 eliminations.
That's 120 points for them.
That's an
on top of the win, that makes 300 points for them.
That's a huge amount of points to actually walk away from that game with. You know, I will say that we both felt confident that Depression had it in the bag, but unfortunately they did not.
No. I wonder if he didn't get shockwaved into zone, if that could have been a different game for him. That definitely changed his game plan. That definitely cost him a lot of HP.
Definitely lost a lot of health. And it was an exciting moment, though, because, of course, they managed to get back into it. We will go through to the break and rejoin with Match 3 of the LPL Mid-Winter Cup featuring Fortnite. Welcome back, everyone, to the LPL Mid-Winter Cup featuring Fortnite, presented by Pringles, broadcasting live from the Sky Tower in Auckland City. I am Jordan Tinney, joined here today by Joel Strykerr Simpson. How are you doing, my friend? Very good, thank you, Jordan. After a very exciting game too, we saw Moose actually take it out over Pre-Depression. They held that middle ground just really, really well. Like I said, I thought Pre-Depression had it. I really thought he had it as well. He did too. That L, he was very confident there. Very, very confident. But of course, Moose hit them with the scenario dance, which was exclusive to the Samsung Galaxy range of phones. And here we go. There's Pre-Depression. Look at that, 2 campfires. 2 campfires, but interestingly, Pre-Depression actually started on just 67 HP. Remember, he was impulsed in a storm, but made it back in. He even built the L. They built the L. They had the confidence. Wasn't enough, though. It wasn't enough. And here we go. We're going to join on Moose. Moose busting out the scenario. He had a medkit, he had a campfire, he had chug splashes, he had everything he needed to hold this game out. And of course, by that look of that box, they had more than enough coverage to survive towards that win, and they secured that win. He got it. He was solid down there. There were builds everywhere. These zones, with them not being moving zones, there are builds everywhere. Players are just putting their mats down. They don't care. They don't need to rotate. They're fine. It's an insane amount of building that was going on, and of course, because it was all on high zone, a lot of players were actually right down on like the ground level. There was, I mean, that height was just held by Pre-Depression and his teammate for so long, maybe 4 zones. They just held it. They sat up there. They racked up some kills. Couldn't quite get the win there, but second place is very, very good for them. Like I said, they had a really great advantage, but of course, Moose secured the victory royale for their duo team, putting them in a really tidy position in terms of actual points. He did 60 points for that victory royale there. On top of all of the other placement points, that's 180 total just from placement. That's not even kills. Insane amount of coverage that they had for themselves in terms of actually securing that. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not the next 3 matches actually affect these standings, or are we going to see a really big upset? I'm not very sure, but I'm hoping to see a player just frag out, maybe get like 8, maybe 10 kills, and really make a comeback. Yeah, we want to see some big doubles. So here we go. We're jumping into match 3. There is the format on the side of how these duos can secure points. Where are we dropping? Boys, it's everywhere at the moment. We see a bus going from the block over to Moisey Palms. I wonder if we'll see any players dropping later to Moisey Palms. I don't think we are, though. A really interesting line from the bus. It basically is dropping them close to centre. Greasy Grove happens to be a hot drop here. I wonder if we'll see any players going for it. Maybe it's taco time. I think we will see taco time, because as you can see, Shifty is also a hot spot. That means there's a lot of yellow and purple weapons out there asking to be picked up. That's right. A lot of very, very strong loot for, coming out of these places. A lot of TAC SMGs as well. It's a very, very good place to pick up, like a blue TAC SMG. But here we see Moose, our previous winner. They are dropping at the ice cream shop just outside of Gus. They're going for the old house. This is a very, very interesting place to land. I wonder where Moose is going to rotate to. Going into blue pump off spawn, though. Blue pump off spawn. You'll love to see it. Rotating late into retail is often a very, very risky thing to do. Retail has a loot advantage. They'll have golden weapons. Moose does have this blue pump, but I mean, everyone in retail is going to have some golden loot. I wonder where he's going to go next. Moose also has 3 grenades, so ready to just blow out some walls or builds if they need to. If he needs to. He needs a spray weapon. He needs an AR. He needs an SMG maybe, but it's early days. He's looking good. And then we're also going across. There we are. We're now over at Lucky, and as we can see, Vandal and Luigi.
our Game 1 winners against UDK and Schoolboy, sharing Lucky Landing. There's not much to share, though.
Oh,
this is a small place.
I'm still feeling it inside for UDK with that clean pump. As we can see, we are on Luigi now. Luigi's gone and grabbed themselves a chest.
Mini shields, that's huge. Doesn't have an AR, though. He's got mini shields. He's got a blue tack, which is very strong. Teammate just dropped him another mini shield, it looked like, but takes it back after he realised he didn't actually need it.
They've got 2 pistols. Also, the grey pistol, people don't think it's going to hit them hard, and then suddenly they're dead.
Let's see what Luigi's trigger finger is like. There's actually is that a VSS? They're definitely not going to pick that up. Definitely a weapon that in the loophole that's just been left out. Players haven't really found a use for it. It's not hit scan. Here we see Elgato actually downed.
Downed immediately by Tobacco and ASA 123.
Tobacco actually low, but I mean, ASA looking good on 150. Tobacco just healing back up for the next fight. They have the spot to themselves now.
There's some fresh builds happening off towards Dancehall. I wonder if somebody could be hiding over there, or if
it looks like there was some middle they just finished building.
Just a leftover from that fight.
Middle starts off very weak, but very, very strong once it's fully built.
It really does. And now we're going across. We've joined Poopburger 93. They had our highest elims in the first game.
And I wonder if we'll be able to do it again this game. Also a blue pump. He has a big shield, but he's not popping it. I guess he's waiting for some mini shields. Yeah,
shout out to Miss Pandemonium in chat. Good luck to everyone in the duos at the moment. They're going to need it. There's a lot happening out there at the moment.
There is a lot. And Poopburger, he's been shutting a lot of people down with those eliminations. Find some mini shields, he's going to have full shield. Here we see an engagement. Actually, Luigi's still alive. Actually clutches it out for his teammate Vandal.
Oh, and UDK is unfortunately taken out again.
No clean pump shots here. Luigi clutching it up.
Looks like that TAC SMG did the job of absolutely murderizing.
You really love to see it. Now they have the spoils of war. They've got all this good loot. Look at that, a suppressed scar. They have a minigun as well. I wonder if they'll end up using that. They have shields, they have mats, they have everything they need now. Look at the zone as well. Lucky Landing is always a very, very risky place to land.
Another shout out to Booties NZ in chat. Yes, Strykerr is doing so well. He has seen your message. We've now been told that 6 Lakh is...
Here we're joined in Salty Springs, a very central part of the map where, I mean, here we see Lurker. I wonder if he'll be lurking into those
We see Lurker.
25.
I've been waiting for Lurker. They've actually pushed a central point. I thought they'd hold outside zones.
Lurker is really, he's a play that we haven't seen a lot of. I wonder if we'll be able to lurk into the placement points this game because he must have died off spawn in the previous games.
That was just a delicious pun and play there by you, Strykerr. We're joined on Lurker. They just had a junk drop in near them and their teammate Majestic, and they're pushing towards Doma Ruck.
What Lurker really needs right now is a shotgun. He has a shield, he has a decent AR, he has an SMG, but he needs a shotgun. That's what he needs. A stable part of the game right now.
If that heavy AK actually did manage to hit with crit, that's a lot of damage on their opposition. That's a lot of damage.
You see Cowan, I'm Mario, Luigi's brother. Not looking too good. He doesn't have a lot of HP, but they win the engagement.
Clinic's taken out by Cow IT.
A very interesting place to fight here behind players, but join back onto Lurker. Just watching, waiting, this center zone, they don't have to move for a while. Storm. Maybe that was the plan here.
Storm is starting to move in. They have 3 minutes to get ready for their position. Of course, with the likes of Lurker, it looks like they're already in zone.
I mean, Salty Springs is the center of the map. I'm pretty sure Salty is guaranteed the first zone. Lurker must know this. Instead of lurking around the outside, I guess he's just going to lurk right in the middle.
They're just holding and lurking, and what they have actually been watching Doma the whole time too. They're definitely lurking.
He is. He's just watching and waiting, and this is a very dangerous strategy that he's going with here. He's not gearing up until endgame. He's sitting here. He needs to do something. He needs to make a play. He's got time, but he doesn't have the loot. He doesn't have the mats.
Maybe there's no confidence in what it is, and let's look at the map. There's that next zone.
We see players in Moisty.
We see players in Moisty. But are they going to get engaged by that corner pushing up towards them, and will we actually see our first use of the prop hunt mechanic?
We're definitely not seeing taco time, but maybe we see prop hunt time.
We have already seen taco time in an earlier match, but we're back on Lurker in Salty Springs. They're all just watching each other.
They're just watching and waiting. We still have 42 players alive. Just 11 players have died.
Big heavy hit there towards Doma. Lurker's trying to pop out with a heavy AK.
Trying to just find that headshot. That AK does some serious damage.
It looks like they're trying to bait Doma into actually just popping enough so that they can tag it once and get ready for some aggression.
Lurker might try to find a snipe here. Might find the angle. Misses the shot though. Lurker reloading now. That bow only has 1 damage. One shot per mag rather.
Doma's in a great position though, because Doma, they've got 150, health shields. They're ready for an engagement.
He's ready, but he doesn't look like he wants to engage. He's just chilling on the blue house. He doesn't want to move either. He knows that if he runs away, these players are going to chase him down, but they're too scared to push up right now.
I'm most interested in what's happening behind Majestic, because it looks like Sixlack is just on the ground.
I think what's stopping these players from pushing is the fact that, I mean, Doma only has a grey tack, and it doesn't look like he has that many shots either. We see a single digit. I think that's only 8 shots. Actually, he's moving up now. He's going to be third party in this fight, maybe. Lurker moving off towards gas station. Doma moving up too.
They're all starting to move.
We see a bit of movement, but we're not seeing much engagement. These players are just too scared to fight. They don't have the close range weapons. Opting for the long range fight instead.
But we've also been noticing this in the previous 2 matches. You know, these first zones aren't really heavy engagement. But Tobacco and ASA are pushing on Komai and Asuke.
Hiding in the cornfield, but the cornfield's getting broken by all these builds. Now they have to fight. They're forced to. Tobacco, here's a golden tack.
Golden tack of this early in the game with the purple deagle.
Finds the shot with the deagle. 2 shots with the deagle. Tobacco.
Big tags from Tobacco.
Some serious Kovacs being played there.
And Tobacco is feeling confident pushing Komai. Oh,
now he's getting tagged out. He has no shield. Now opt to pop this mini shield. Doesn't have many mats either. I wonder if it'll be enough for this fight. Tobacco's just trying to get this mini shield off. Tobacco actually has no AR.
Healing. Yeah.
He has no healing. He has no AR. He's only got his mats.
Komai felt confident in that.
Tobacco's running out of builds real quick. He's got none now. No builds. Here's a kill, but his wall gets replaced. Trying to find an angle. Misses a shot. Tobacco on 59 HP. Finds a shot, but goes down.
Big hit on Tobacco. Taken out by Komai is trash.
Not very trash right now, actually. He gets a kill.
Not very trash at all. Obviously, that was their old mentor who taught them the power of Fortnite. Their teammate Asuke is at the bottom of their tower, pushing up towards Komai as trash. They might have a campfire or splashes ready to go inside for them.
Both of these players are very weak, actually. I wonder if we'll see them play a lot more defensively now after that engagement. There's no Siphon in duos.
No Siphon at the moment.
They need some mids.
They do.
They need a campfire.
And Komai's teammate Tobacco. Oh no, this is ASA 123 Tobacco's teammate.
Who doesn't have a teammate.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's hanging around. He might be able to get the card. He may be able to get that reboot card, but no, moving over to the anti-gravity zone, having a big impact on the fight. The Minder Boys taking any enemies down.
I think we just lost both of their opposition instantly.
They're taking names. They have 3 kills between them. Look at that. Pump, Scar, Tack, SMG. That's the combo.
That is exactly what you want. That Pump, Tack, and Purple Scar.
Teammate actually has a heavy sniper, a very, very strong weapon, like in combination with these weapons. Actually opts to drop the SMG though, opting for more mids with no Siphon in this game mode. That might be a smart idea.
Exactly.
But no SMG, that's a very strong weapon that he's missing out on.
That's a full stack of splashes and a full stack of mini shields. They're
6 splashes.
Definitely prepared.
That's a lot of mids. Maybe those splashes, maybe they have a plan for them. They're going to take them to end game. They saw what Moose could do. They're going to try to repeat it.
Exactly. Here we go there. We see Fendi and Limp pushing towards the now returned Dusty Depot.
Naruto had actually built on, but here, returning to Fatal Fields where all the action started, we see Komai actually downed.
We see a massive amount of engagement happening right now, giving Fatal Fields its name, because it turns out that it's fatal for some players. Very fatal. Another tag in the air.
Well, Asuke getting shot at this guy. They know he's white. One more shot and he goes down.
Oh, that was a massive play from Kalada.
Wow, his teammate got the elimination. Berger now with 2 kills. Plenty of HP for these boys too. Kalada actually only has a grey AR though. Yeah. He definitely wants an upgrade on that.
They're actually going to push towards.
Are they pushing?
They were considering it?
He's considering it. He doesn't know.
No.
I think he's going to stay in the knife and fork. Yeah. He's going to stay down here. He's got all this natural cover. He doesn't need to build. He's got plenty of mats though. This launch pad too. Looks like they're just going to use it. They have a long way to rotate.
Poopburger 93 is holding the outside with barely any shield. Oh, they're starting to heal up now, though.
A lot of players really have to move now. We see the edge of the zone here. It's next to the bridge, similar to last game.
Kalada got some massive hits right there on GZK. Pushing the build.
They're still pushing. They want more eliminations. They're trying to catch up in the points where they lost in placement. Trying to get some tags on GZK. Very, very weak.
This is some massive work
so
from both Kalada and Berger.
Berger trying to get some shots on, takes down GZK. Teammate still remains though, showing in the storm. Astrology running out of HP, but do these players really want to take this fight? Do they really want to storm fight? They do. Berger wants this kill, and bad. We're going to see a build fight here.
We see why Burger 93 got that massive 6-kill game in the first match.
Looks like Australasia might not have a lot of mats. He's onto his middle and he's down low. He goes down though. Goes down to the teammate and all of this loot now. But they're in Storm. They need to get out.
He also left some junk rifts there. He's considering what items he actually wants to walk away with.
The only thing Burger needs to consider is getting out of the Storm. Does a lot of damage. Collada here taking some damage too. He does have a medkit though.
I can see here in chat, NA Educations is the person who was teamed up with Minor Spider. They were the ones who lost that match to Fender and Lymph. Apparently they were snuck up on in that build.
Well, hey, we don't see a lot of players sneaking up on each other. I mean, especially not in a mech like we see here. We see Pika trying to stomp this player out. Domakai very, very weak, not finding the stomp, but finds it. Goes down. Pika has 3 kills. Look at the launch pads, 2 launch pads, no more mech though.
That's our second brute in use that we've seen today in these matches for the LPL Mid-Winter Cup.
Finding an angle here, Pika gets a shot on and doesn't take much in return, just building up. Look at these builds. Trying to find some hype, but it's getting sprayed up by that new tack SMG. I wonder if he'll opt to use some of his splashes here. He does have launch pads. He could get out of here. If he really wanted to, he could pop a launch pad down and he could get out.
Yeah, Pika is definitely putting the turbo in turbo building right now.
Pika just like watching and waiting. I think he's trying to get this edit down. He does have 3 kills by himself, actually. That's 60 points for him.
That's massive.
We're also we're seeing a lot of players here not really like engaging each other. And that's because we're at that 27 player threshold. We have 27 players alive and they're all waiting for 2 more players to die to get that top 25.
Exactly.
Get that safe 60 points. No one wants to be the next player to die.
They don't want to be in that position where they could, you know, score that easy 30 plus on top of what they already have. We see Collada and Burger pushing towards the bridge again where the final zone was.
They have 4 kills. These players are aggressive. They want placement and eliminations. 1 is not enough for them.
Burger's definitely showcasing that dark red night skin that they're wearing at the moment.
Very new, very nice. Here's some loot. Opts not to take it.
He doesn't want it.
He's got some very good loot already.
He's got a pretty healthy loadout by the looks of it. We've got blue pump, purple heavy, green AR.
We see Vandal and Luigi.
Blow for gone.
Luigi may have to fight his brother here. Look, we see Mario next to Cow in that tower.
They're getting ready. This is that final zone mix-up that we see every time we get towards zone 3. Everyone's getting ready for position.
Luigi has a purple tactical SMG, a very strong weapon. We've seen it so much, and I think we're going to see it here again. Luigi's just watching and waiting. These other players are edging closer, but I don't know if Luigi wants this fight.
Luigi is holding that.
Luigi's waiting. He has 6 chug splashes as well. We're seeing a lot of chug splashes too. Definitely the favorite mid in this format. We don't have siphons, so those chug splashes are the fastest way to heal.
They've got the loadout that player had on them was massive, but as we can see, Mario and Cow IT are getting ready to go higher, and they're starting to try to monk out Luigi and Vandal in that lower build.
They have that height. They don't want to engage though. They're just gonna sit next to each other.
We've got Fendi and Lymph also behind Mario and Cow. We've got Collada with Burger.
These players are so aggressive. Look, there's already 1 down looking for number 2. Almost finds the head in the shot.
Oh my gosh.
Kenji, just like that. Look at this. 7 limbs.
70 limbs on the first match.
These players are taking names.
The highest
7
kill
eliminations.
in the first match.
Cloud's got a grey out, but he doesn't care. He's pushing in anyways.
Yeah. They just...
Collada,
it's impressive seeing how aggressive they're actually being at the moment.
Collada and Burger are in your face and in your box. These players are taking names.
When we were wondering why Poop Burger got such a high elim kill count in the first game, well, this just answers it.
Did you see that there? We had Lurker lurking off in retail off to the right there, but here we see a replay of the fight. Pina Colada not missing a shot, gets 3 clean shots with that purple tack.
Absolutely munked.
It's a lot of damage.
RIP to those players that we just lost right there.
Here we see them using all of this metal to make a big build. I think Colada is going down to get the mats that they missed out on.
They're really holding the edge of zone though. There's some confidence.
We see pre-depression
pushing towards them.
From last game, our second place. I don't think he has a teammate though. Pre-depression might be there by himself, and actually on the low ground this time we see some of the Mighty Boys off to the left on top of that hill. Here we see Burger. He doesn't want to box up. He doesn't care. He's going to push. Actually, these are his own builds. Here's a tower of. Here's a tower of his own, and these players are, wow.
Based off their aggression right now, they're definitely in the best position based on the field at the moment.
I wonder if they will continue trying to get kills or if they're just going to try to get that placement. It looks like Burger's trying to find a sniper. He has that heavy sniper. I wonder if we'll see it, but a whiff. We don't see the hit.
We also see Lurker lurking, and I'm so happy to see Lurker now in play.
Lurking off in the distance. We see Moose being pressured by some of the minor boys. Moose is just holding strong, though. He still has his teammate for this game, and maybe he can get another win.
Hopefully they'll hold that. We see Fendi at the moment.
He's got a very cheeky angle here, trying to find this heavy snipe.
Nice window build out there.
Shooting up the builds. I think he's trying to shoot this massive build down. He definitely has the sniper ammo to do it. I think that's the plan.
And here we see just point of views between the two different players. We've got Moose. Also, the Moose was the round 2 winner.
Moose actually has an RPG, a very, very strong tool.
Also a confident infantry rifle user. If you get a good crit off infantry, that's a pretty big solid damage.
Hey, we see Fendi just trying to knock these other players down. They have a lot of height, but he doesn't like that. He wants them to come down. They want to be the highest players.
They want to see Luigi absolutely monk it. Also,
watching and waiting, looking at these players. Look at this angle.
Mario and Cal are also at the bottom of that build between Vandal and Luigi. They
might be trying to force this fight. Looks like Mario and Cal just actually built up. They're engaging over there.
They have to. They've been forced into play by Fendi.
Fendi actually has this third-party opportunity. Now, Mario gets tagged heavy. We see his white goes down. Vandal might get pressured here. Takes one shot in the back.
Fendi's definitely trying to push for the monk, but couldn't secure it.
Fendi and his teammate actually aren't going too hard for this third party. They're just gonna. Actually, they are. Look at that. Limp is flying in, taking that height.
In terms of actual
and there's his
placement.
teammate Fendi as well.
Ching is just behind that giant build between Fendi and Limp.
I think Luigi is still up as well.
We also see 2 more minor team members, Brad and Sad, off to the side. Moose and Mania are now
taking some damage.
People just love flying into these final zones.
They really do. Flying in but taking some damage as they do that. Look at this. Limp, look at this height. He has the mats to hold it. Here's a launch pad. Look at those. He has chug splashes as well.
Limp
He's set. Limp
and
is looking
Fendi
very
have
good.
3 kills between them also.
3 kills already. They want that placement. We're on a top 16. Now, Vandal takes down Kao, actually. I wonder if I'm Luigi still up, and it looks like he is. We got a quick view down on them. It looks like they came out of that fight very, very favorably. We see Burger and Kao off to the side as well.
This TP that's happening at the moment, we've got a lot of third-partying happening all over the place. Everybody's trying to monk someone just to get that elim, clean it up. Burger and Collider are still on 7 kills.
7 kills, they're getting placement now too. This is a huge game for them.
It's a massive amount of elim to give them. 140 points. But they're also...
Snipe him. I better find one.
It's a pretty clean angle.
Here we see Luigi and Vandal colliding with Mania and Moose, our previous game winners, but look at them cranking to get some height. They're using their mats.
They're just definitely burning it all off now to try to secure themselves a better position as the zone starts to push in. Also notice Chinga. Chinga's holding a really nice low zone there.
He is, but goes up. Just as you say that, flying the zone.
I wonder if they're trying to fly right into that center.
They have 6 kills. Look at the materials. Max middle, max width. Has their height taken though? Luigi isn't going to fight for it. He's playing it safe. He wants those placement points. Look at this. Purple tack SMG. Still has those splashes. Going for height, but gets blocked by a gets blocked by a floor.
Good block.
His teammate's on a height though.
Oh,
a gift. It's a gift. Oh, free loot.
Where did that even come from?
We don't know, but
oh my gosh,
Luigi will take it.
He did take it.
Looks like they're flying up for height. They're going to take it too. Luigi and Vandal taking height again. This lobby is theirs. They have the mats. Look at this.
Yeah, we start to see the pyramids getting ready.
Look at that. We see a lot of players scattered across this low ground, but there's not much height distribution. We see Fendi in the mid ground, but no teammate now, and every other player is basically just on the low ground.
I'm so
Luigi trying to find a sniper, finishes off Yeti. These players have 7 kills. A Jungrif going down, but doesn't knock them off height. Not yet.
No, so no connections broken there.
Look at the materials. Max middle. That middle is going to be very handy in this endgame.
I'm still just trying to think of where that kill came from. Who got limbs?
Maybe he just fell. I'm not sure.
We've got Spider calling out, let's go, Brad and Sad, and as you can see on the map right now, Brad and Sad are at bottom ground. They're possibly engaging YouTube Chinga right now.
Because Luigi and Vandal are just waiting. Another Jungrif comes out, actually. I wonder if that'll knock them down. Looks like Luigi and Vandal are both fine, though. They foresaw it.
There's been a heavy hold-off with those Junkrifts in final zone.
Can we see them exchanging mids? It looks like Luigi, again, is going to play the heal game while Vandal tries to interrupt others' heal game.
And with their kill counts, I can see why. They've also got 7 kills.
They're playing safe, they have a plan, and they're going to act on it.
Luigi and Vandal have managed to position themselves really well to secure a lot of kills, giving themselves a really nice elim game. They might be in top 5 right now.
Look at that height. Look at them. They're so high up. It's very smart how high they are, because other players won't be able to impulse up.
Yeah.
They're way up there.
Impressively, we're still in the top 9. We haven't even gotten into top 5 territory.
Very little shield. I think Moose has been saving these RPGs. He still has 6 more rockets. They have impulses as well, actually. Still has that blue pump as well. Moose is looking very good, although he doesn't have a lot of shield.
Shout out to Vazowski in chat, who apparently knows who wins. Please don't spoil it for the rest of us as we watch this live LPL Mid-Winter Cup.
I think I have a very good idea of who wins these, but Moose going up, he might be contesting this high ground. He is Moose trying to take it. It's a 2v1 situation though. Moose gets knocked down. It looks like he needs to stop.
Moose really wants that victory royale after securing match 2 in the LPL Mid-Winter Cup.
This plays a very brave round. The RPG comes out. They're trying to knock them down. Moose has plenty of RPGs to do that. He's 5 remaining. I think they're just gonna chill in the mid ground. They're not looking to take height. They're not looking to take any risks. Moose does not have the shield to do this. They only have 2 kills though. Maybe they're pushing for eliminations. Maybe they need more points.
They know that it's crucial right now to actually survive rather than engage.
At this height distribution in the final zone, we see Luigi way up high. He's going to play his HP. He still has plenty of HP, more than 90. Looks like he just went down though, actually, from the junk rift.
A massive junk, 2 junk rifts. Did that take out Colada?
That
yes,
took out Luigi and Vandal, just like that. Mania goes down to Moose.
Massive junk rift play there.
Moose now the favorite to win. He has the height. He knows that all this loot's dropped down. I wonder if he can find some choke splashes.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing for Moose is they don't have any heals.
He doesn't have any heals. He has his RPG and he has high ground. There's 9 rockets too. Might be able to find some kills here. Finds a kill on Doki, who's on low. Another 20 points for him, and we're top 4 territory. Every player, we see campfires going off for Bird here. He's losing HP fast, so pre-depression still on full HP. Miner goes down.
Moose is
we also
trying
see
to
Chinga
clean that.
down the bottom. So we see the same 2 players, pre-depression and Moose, playing the same heal game. They're losing HP at about the same rate though. Moose is dropping down, going to try and interrupt this heal game from pre-depression. Will he find the shot though? Pre-depression gets the mid kill off, and Moose goes down. Pre-depression. 8 eliminations. That is a huge game.
Pre-depression lost Botland by the looks of it, but secured 8 elims on their own.
He's not taking any L's this game.
That is a huge.
He takes a huge W this
royale from pre-depression. Oh my gosh, that I am actually awestruck right now. Pre-depression played an incredible match 3.
I really thought Luigi and Vandal were going to take that out. They had the hype, but the junk rifts.
The junk rifts. We finally saw a junk rift actually used in a way that could disrupt that final build fight, and it did. It took out 2 people instantly.
So many players. You know, pre-depression might have been the play that threw those, because he had a lot of kills and a lot of players died to those junk rifts.
It was definitely a center throw. Whoever threw those changed the outcome of that final build-off, and when we saw just all those people start to drop, it looked like it was between pre-depression and Moose there.
It did. Again, those players are 2 very, very consistent names in this tournament.
They're holding that survivability. Big shout out to Luigi and Vandal though. They did a great job out there.
They did a really good job. They almost got the safe placement, but they need some eliminations.
We're going to throw to commercial break, and we'll rejoin with match 4 in the LPL Mid-Winter Cup, featuring Fortnite, presented by Pringles. Welcome back everybody to the LPL Mid-Winter Cup featuring Fortnite, presented by Pringles. We've just come out of match 3, broadcasting live here in the Sky Tower in Auckland City. That match 3, that was an incredible job.
We have a bit of a story coming out here with Moose and pre-depression going back and forth. That's 1 game apiece for them.
They're definitely very prolific out there at the moment. And of course, we also had Vandal and Luigi, who won match 1. Those 3 names have been pretty outstanding in the tournament that we've seen today.
That's right, very consistent players. But I mean, that game, pre-depression just dominated. 8 kills, plus the win. That's a lot of points for him and his teammate.
It's going to be so interesting to see who actually dropped those junk rifts. That actually changed the outcome of that game.
Changed the game completely.
But let's step into match 4 for the Mid-Winter Cup. It's going to be interesting. I don't know who's going to take this from here. Who do you think?
Honestly, my favourites are still Luigi and Vandal. I really think they can bring it back. They've been very consistent players. It's just those junk riffs that threw them off.
They do definitely get very clean builds on the outside, and they managed to hold that end game really, really well.
They really did. They were looking like a very, very strong team, but unfortunately, those junk riffs.
We haven't actually seen the meta change up too much, so it's really interesting. Just, you know, is anyone going to actually change it up and bring in anything different outside of that pump tack SMG meta?
I mean, we'll see. It looks like a very, very dominant kind of strategy at the moment. That tack SMG, we've been seeing it so much. Purple tags, blue tags, we've been seeing them everywhere.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting with match 4 and 5. That'll be tying up who's actually going to walk away with the prizes today. So we're going to check out the end of match 3 just to see how it's going to lead forward.
See Moose and Pre-Depression gets the win here.
Yep, it was a
short
massive...
replay of last game. Botlin actually had no kills there. Pre-Depression with a bit of a carry there.
That is a shoulders on Pre-Depression there, because they have 8 elims. Absolutely massive. It's going to be, I want to see what happens. Will we actually see anyone step forward in the next match, or will we just see those people who have actually been so strong throughout this tournament?
I think there's definitely potential with a comeback in this format. 20 points per elimination could mean that what if a player gets like 15 kills? What if they really frag out and get some kills, make that comeback, maybe get a win as well? Placement points are huge, but so are elimination points.
And we just saw that with Pre-Depression. That was just absolutely massive. So we're preparing for match 4, whether or not that's going to change up from the likes of Vandal, Luigi, Moose, and Pre-Depression, who have actually been the people who've walked away with the victory royale today. Will we see somebody else grab that in match 4, or will it be one of those 3?
We'll find out very, very soon. I'm very excited to see.
I'm just interested. I want to see that actual Moisty zone used as a final drop. You know, I want to see prop hunt. I want to see people hiding away, just staying in place.
I would love to see prop hunt. You can definitely come back. Like, if you run out of mats, you can become a lawn chair, a toilet, a rubbish bin, whatever.
It would be interesting if there was just a toilet sitting in the middle of the road, though. And we could also see the likes of Greasy used as a final zone with its taco time in place.
We could definitely see some taco time. We've already been seeing a little bit of it, but none at endgame yet.
Yeah, we have only seen early game taco time. So here we go. We're getting ready for match 4. That bus is getting loaded up by our players participating today in the LPL Mid-Winter Cup. They're getting ready. They're undoing their seatbelts. They're like, hey, bus driver, are you going to let us off this bus? They're just not actually sure. But
too busy thanking the bus driver.
Possibly. They're all hitting the key. That will thank the bus driver, because, of course, that bus driver does an incredible job of actually dropping everybody into the game. I'm wondering if we're also going to see people push for the hotspots again like we did in the previous games.
We did see a few players drop at their hotspots. We have seen Luigi and Vandal especially. They've been landing at Lucky Landing. That's their drop. They know it well.
It's very, very lucky. And just remember that it is this format for the tournament today. Elims will be 20 points, top 25 will get 60 points, top 15 will get another 30 on top of that, along with top 5 another 30, and Victory Royale gets that 60 points on top. And here we go. Where are we dropping, boys? There we go. We see the minus squad dropping out of the bus. Everyone's preparing to get ready for zone. And here we see the map. Again, interesting central line for that bus.
Very interesting. Your favorite drop, Haunted Hills, actually has a llama next to it. And it's a hot drop.
Yep.
If anyone goes there, they're going to be stacked this game. I wonder if we see any players going towards Greasy Grove. We haven't seen much out of Moisty Pumps this series.
Moisty has just been far too far.
Here we see Pre-Depression, the previous game winner. Wow, going for retail and a mech here as well. I wonder if they'll use it. The mech is actually very, very strong for one particular reason in retail. You can use the mech to destroy all the pylons.
Exactly.
You can get a lot of loot very quickly. Pre-Depression and Botlin could be very stacked this game. They're actually uncontested at retail. This is huge.
They're going to go and push those columns to get those yellow and purple drops that can come out of them.
This is absolutely huge for them. We do see 2 other players somewhat nearby, but my goodness, Pre-Depression and Botlin are going to be stacked this game. We actually see these other players off in the distance, but they're not contesting retail. They're not coming anywhere near. They see the mech. They don't want anything to do with that mech. We see a launch pad already picked up at Pre-Depression. The first of many, probably. We see attack SMG.
Attack SMG.
Attack
He's
SMG.
ready for first encounters, and a Zapper Trap.
Zapper Trap, a very interesting weapon. We haven't seen that much of it, but here we're going to see it kill some zombies.
Incredible use. It will kill zombies.
We'll just farm some zombies.
That will get some more ammo.
Free shield. Pre-Depression is looking very good. His teammate farming the pylons in the mech, and Pre-Depression looting up all the houses. They have zone too.
We also see junk riffs now picked up by Pre-Depression.
The junglers that cost so many people the previous game. But look at that zone. We see people in Tilted. We see Cloudy off to the right, very weak.
Cloudy has no health.
And of course, you can't build to save yourself here. He needs a teammate. Here's a teammate, Varx, who has a pump and minis as well. Might find a shot. He misses his first shot, but takes one. Gets a 38 damage shot, but goes down.
Goes down to Pomali, who unfortunately just was in a better position for that encounter.
Here we see Cloudy actually find some mids, find some minis, find some bandages.
He's also got another blue pump he could pick up there, but of course the double pump meta no longer works. So is he going to use that?
He's just wandering around. Might be able to find a shot here. Hits a nice 50 damage shot, but goes down ultimately to Miss Rims. Goes down. There's two players, there's only two players remaining in Tilted Town. Tilted Town is this. Tilted Town is this. I wonder if we'll see any double barrels. The double barrel shotgun does still exist in Tilted, but we haven't seen any of it.
Has a very low drop rate though, and typically comes in its yellow variant. Here we see YT, Playtech, and Iversity in Happy Hamlet.
See a bit of an engagement here. These players need to be very careful though. That zone is not favoring them. That zone is near retail. They'll need to rotate. They need to get this fight out of the way, and they need to get out of here.
Iversity was trying to get ready for that build. Elgato managed to drop them through and secure the kill on Iversity.
Look at this.
YT Playtech is still up.
Holding strong.
Trying to...
Teammates down though, getting pressured. He needs this fight to be over now. Whiffs a shot though.
Are you going to get that window pop?
Gets a chug splashes, misses the window, gets the kill. Elgato clutching it out.
That is unfortunate for Playtech, who was trying to go for that window kill but couldn't hit it in time, and Elgato managed to secure that encounter.
Elgato definitely putting in some work there. Already got 2 kills. He has a pump ready. Here's an SMG. But here we're joined with Majestic and Lurker, who looks like they just finished off a fight. They're not lurking, they're fighting today. Lurker has a kill, Majestic has a kill. They have a launch pad. Their weapons aren't looking too good, but...
Lurker is trying to change up their meta. They're not lurking anymore. They're getting ready to fight.
We see them in Salty Springs. Center zone, of course, such a good position. Salty Springs is often a very, it's a very strong drop. There's not much loot there, but you always have a good position. There's so many good places to rotate from Salty. It looks like Majestic is actually going towards the bridge, trying to get some more mats. He doesn't have many mats, so...
I'm a bit concerned for Majestic also, who doesn't have any shields.
Yeah, he needs shields, he needs mats.
Super low on mats.
Just gearing up until that end game.
They've only got 14 builds at the moment. And as you can see, they've got opposition quite off in the distance. Lurker's actually shifted towards the opposition. Is Lurker actually trying to go for engagement?
He's not lurking anymore. He wants some blood.
He wants some blood. Lurker got tired of lurking. We pulled out to the map, and as you can see, that final zone is
We see one player in Mountain Palms. We don't see anyone up at Haunted Hills.
We have 2 in Junk, though.
We have 2 in Junk. They have a fire rotation.
They do. If they manage to get to the Pleasant Park Rift, but as you can see, Pleasant Park also has 2 players in it at the moment.
The storm is moving. They need to be careful. Here we see Majestic. I better find an angle with the sniper, but no. Ops instead to just gear up until endgame. A much smarter decision. He needs loot. He needs mats. He needs shield.
Majestic definitely wants some blood, but they have to play it safe.
They need to play safe. I think because Majestic and Lurker have been lacking in placement points, they're going to try to make it up with eliminations. They already have 2, but they're going to need a lot more.
They're going to need a lot more to actually make any kind of impact and secure themselves some of that prize pool that is in play today. 2,500 Australian dollars is on the line, with first place walking away with $1,000.
That is a very sizable profit for one lucky team.
Yeah. And as we can see, we're back on Elgato, who survived with their teammate Esports down in Happy Hamlet.
Golden Scar.
Golden Scar in Happy Hamlet.
Very strong weapon. There's a lot of vending machines in Happy Hamlet. I wonder if he got it from one of the vending machines. See Elgato just looting up. Here's the shield, here's the mats, here's everything he needs. But the more mats, the better, I guess.
They just want to secure themselves and make sure they're ready for that final fight.
We see Pika in yonder yard. Look at the middle, 500 middle. Also has a minigun. I think we're definitely going to see some minigun this game. We may have seen some already though with Pika picking up 2 eliminations, possibly with that minigun.
With that minigun, that is a useful tool for punching through the walls, and because it has such a rapid rate of fire, it can actually tag out people as the wall drops.
It's a very powerful weapon. It's very underrated up until very recently, with recent patches towards turbo builds, along with the TAC SMG. Those high fire rate guns really really pack on some damage.
I'm super interested in seeing where our first 3 match winners are currently. Round 1 was won by Vandal and Luigi. Round 2 was Moose and their teammate, and round 3 was Pre-Depression.
All of these are very, very consistent plays. We've been seeing them quite a lot in previous games, but we haven't seen much of them this game.
We've been seeing them a lot in terms of actual survivability, getting towards the final zones, building really high and just making sure they hold their ground.
We see Pika Squad and Kenji here just getting some more free real estate. Here we see an engagement here. Looks like Changa is running away from his teammate Blof again. Zooms off on a hoverboard. Well, Blof has left the fend for himself. Actually does have a shockwave grenade.
We just saw a junk rift in use.
We see a junk rift though. Very interesting.
I think they were trying to clean out Blof, but Blof had to use a shockwave grenade to get out of there. They've also dropped a shield bubble right at the bottom.
Look at the mids on Vascology. 6 minis. 6 chug splashes, campfire, launch. You're very geared up.
They're going for that long game. They're making sure they can keep their health and shields right up there. We're down in what I like to call Chair Town, watching Pika Squad, and Pika Squad knows that there's definitely someone out there, and they're going to push for Blof, who's trying to come in.
Blof getting up on the chair itself, but flies over towards the bridge. Pika doesn't find any shots. There's no more players over there, Pika Squad, but he might investigate it anyways. Careful of this grandfather tree with Changa setting up a pond.
I got a bit excited there, as in match 3 we saw a few flying kills down in Fatal Fields. People flying everywhere and getting taken out in the sky.
Out. Pika Squad, actually, when he arrived in Chairtown, there weren't many players at all, but now we see 3 teams total. We actually hear another junk rift.
And that was very, very...
That sounded close.
It sounded very close.
Pika Squad, unfazed, just farming up.
We're not worried.
He's not worried at all.
I've also just noticed Pika has a boogie bomb on there. I hope they managed to get to use it.
We haven't seen any boogie bombs this series. Boogie Bomb and Minigun could definitely be a deadly combo.
Interestingly enough, we've seen Stinks used a lot in early game, but never really held for that final game.
Players aren't, I feel like players aren't really saving their utility for later games. They want weapons, they want the tag SMG, they want the pump, they want the AR, they want the sniper.
They want those weapons that really punch through the wall and just really clean out people who are trying to secure their final zone.
Here we see Meesport and his teammate in an excellent position, but not really for the zone. They need to rotate. In just 40 seconds, they need to rotate.
They have to get ready to get out of there. They don't really have any mobility to push themselves out of there.
They're just running. They're just running. They have a long way to go and a lot of mats to catch up on farming. Here we see Meesport farming up a little bit.
Meesport only has 40 builds. Whether or not that's actually enough.
We're trying to catch up. There's still 36 players alive. There's plenty of players. Here we see a launch pad, actually. That's going to help them rotate. But hopefully not towards these other players. Opting to go left around the grandfather tree.
They're rotating around grandfather tree towards Viscology and their teammate, who are down in shifty shafts at the moment.
So is that a blue? Oh, it's a blue VSS. Not really a weapon that players want. We haven't seen any use out of it at all.
That full auto sniper, while it may have good rate of fire, it doesn't actually do great DPS.
It really doesn't. It's hard to hit shots with. It's not hit scan.
It's not a clean weapon to use, and in terms of what the engagements have looked like in the games today, it's not going to do them any good carrying that weapon.
It's really not. We've seen a lot more SMGs, we've seen a lot more scars, we've seen a lot of pumps as well, actually. The pump has definitely been the dominant shotgun in this series so far. That pump shotgun followed up by that TAC SMG, or even an AR. It's just so powerful.
And as we can see in chat at the moment, they're saying, Strykerr, is Meesport wearing your skin?
He is wearing my skin. The skin of my own choice.
I hope
the power cord.
I hope he messaged you.
I wonder if they've asked for permission, because I haven't received any permission.
Hey, as long as they use your code, it's fine. We're now joining Fresh and Coles versus Hunnits and Ray B down in Fatal Fields.
It doesn't look like it's been as fatal this game, because Fresh and Coles actually have 0 kills between them, but do have junk rifts.
There was just a massive shot behind Coles, though. So now we've got 2 different points of view. We're joined on Fresh and Coles and YL Ray B and their teammate. Ray B's just holding that box.
Holding this edit, waiting for a play to come in, but they have to rotate. He can't sit here forever. He can sit here for now, but
they have to get ready to get out of there. He needs to move.
Here's chug splashes, here's campfires. He can sit here for longer than most, but does he really want to?
Well,
he needs to move.
It's only a single burn at the moment. That's still a 1 piece coming off your health. That's going to, you know, be crucial to what you actually need to survive in the end game.
Wait, Elrap, getting that laser beam on with a blue SMG, no shotgun, the SMG's going to have to do. He's sitting in the storm, ready to just storm fight, and these players are opting, instead of rotating, they want to fight. They want these kills.
They're going for Elam points, which would give them 20 each for each elimination they manage to secure.
So Gel coming out. We have a pump shot. Yara getting very weak here, but gets the shot on Culls.
Ray
goes down.
managed to drop Culls.
Not securing the kills just yet, but goes down. Goes down to Fresh, who needs to revive Culls, and they need to get out of here. And Fast does have one medkit and an RPG. Whether
or not they actually have the mobility to get out of there, Culls has no items in there that can give them mobility.
They need to run and fast because, I mean, the zone afterwards is going to like move in a minute as well. They need to get out of here. They have a campfire, they have chug splashes there, opting to pick those up. 4 chug splashes, campfire. They need to move though. They need to go. They need to go now.
I don't think they're getting out of this position.
They have a campfire down, but that's not the story. They need to get out of here.
We've just seen Twitch Me Sport get taken down by Pika Squad. We're now joined on Viscology and GZK and Blof down on the low ground.
We see Viscology on the center hill. Or not quite the center hill, but one of the central hills on the entire map. This is a very good position to be. Not many players are going to be building up to this.
We see the current top 10 as standing right now with Vandal and Luigi, the Cracked Destroyers, Vixus Rice, Depression Unknown, Chinga, Blofi, Minority Fendi, Best of Both Worlds, Go Hannah Montana, Team Vask, 7-Eleven Workers, and Aim Assist.
And here we actually see Vandal and Luigi in a fight themselves, but Vandal's going down. It's all Luigi now. Let's see if he can clutch it out. Trixie actually doesn't have any shield, but has plenty of shield to replenish that. Taking minis now, Luigi needs to he needs to do something. Looks like Fresh just went down to the storm there. Looks like
they were never going to escape that storm. It was just too far.
Just too far. Here we see Lurker actually with 2 kills. He's not lurking, he's fighting. Might go down here though. Does go down.
And that was from the kill leader in our first game, Trongzy, who secured 6 eliminations in the first game.
Look at the materials. Max wood, max brick, almost max metal too.
They've got a massive amount of builds. They've got 280 builds they can burn through right now.
Very interestingly, 7 minis as well. Very odd number of minis to have, but coming in handy there.
Well, it looks like they've got also 2 campfires, so they're definitely ready.
We see Luigi as well, still holding strong. As you say, one of the top performers, 10. Top 10 right now. He's by himself, but he doesn't have Vandal, takes 36 damage to the brain right there with the pump shot. Trixie dropping down, trying to find another angle, but they just need to rotate. Look at how far they need to run. They need to go. They're getting third party now by Pika. Trixie firing back. Trixie only has 40 HP now, and no time to pop these minis either. He needs to get out using all of those mats. Trixie might go down here to Luigi, just 14 HP, and goes down.
Big pop as they try to jump into zone.
Here we see Luigi with 2 kills. He's got a golden heavy sniper. No AR, plenty of builds. Blue pumper, he's getting pressured here. He's getting pressured hard. Taking some bandits, putting them on. Oh, here comes that minigun. Gets a clean pump shot on. Needs 1 more of those. Luigi not looking good though. Not looking good at all. Doesn't have a lot of HP. This storm is going to start ticking hard soon too. Compared to previous zones, we've actually seen people staying in the storm. They're staying in the storm. They want those elims. Pika Squad might go down the storm. No, gets the gets the campfire down and the medkit going too. The storm is going to start ticking for more though. And goes down to the 5-tick storm. Probably the most deadly storm. It goes from doing 2 damage up to 5. They almost had that too. That 2-tick was actually survivable for them once it kicked into 5. That was it. Here we see Chinga and Blof actually had a bit of a less eventful game. They have 0 kills still, but I mean, I guess they're going for placement. There's 20 plays remaining, which means that these players have already secured 60 points, as we can see from the format here. 60 points from that top 25 is very sweet. And of course, that's probably why Chinga and Blofa are in the top 10. Here we see Mix, 2 Mix. We have Pre-Depression and their teammate Botland securing brutes. They are insane players to be running that right now. Botland's mech gets beamed out there. Pre-Depression doesn't look too healthy either. No, it's about to pop. Doesn't have any mix. They're going in for Mario. Yeah, they want the loot. Picks up those chug splashes, another very handy tool. Also minis. Pre-Depression doesn't have many mids, but now has the chug splashes. Also 4 junk rifts. They have 1 campfire by the looks of it. It looks like Pre-Depression is getting ready for their final build. Pre-Depression, no, these players are learning. I'm not sure if all of them knew that there weren't moving zones in duos, but I mean, Pre-Depression does. Yeah. And his loadout shows it. Look at this. He has impulses to retake height. He has junk rifts, of course, in mayhem. He has a launch pad. He has it all. We still have 2 brutes in play in zone at the moment also. Brutes. We haven't seen big upsets from the Brutes, but I mean, 2 Brutes in play. Here we see the Miner boys.
The Miners.
Look at them.
Lymph and Fendi are in one Brute, and it looks like, do we have Po Mali in the other?
We also have Moose and Mania rotating to the new zone. They're getting pressured by this mech now. Players jump out, and Miner Lymph gets beaten down to just 57 HP. Trap goes down, needs to take this mini shield too. Also has some impulses to get out of here. Looks like the mech's getting in the way though. Gonna give him some cover to take some mini shields, but apart from that, it's not gonna be that useful.
The way that Lymph hopped out of that Brute, it really showcases that disadvantage. Yes, that while the Brute has a lot of heavy punch to it, if you get tagged out coming out of it, you are pretty clean. Yep. And he lost about 80 HP on the
He lost a lot of HP coming out of that mech, but they're in a good position now. Let's see what this next zone does in just 10 seconds. We're going to see the next zone.
It is massive. And just to let you guys all know, we still have our team working on standings at the moment, and we will try to deliver those to you as soon as we can.
We see Lymph up on high, already height is being established. These players have a decent amount of mats, but Mania and Moose, very consistent plays. They don't have any eliminations though. They want that safe placement.
They're going for their survivability that we really pointed out at the start of today's LPL Mid-Winter Cup.
This format really does suit players going for that survivability, as you say, and really just trying to get those placement points. From the format, we see that eliminations are worth a decent amount of points, but I mean, top 25 is worth 60.
It's going to be a massive, massive push from a lot of players. We're down to the top 10 at the moment. So, of course, all these people have secured that top 25 points, but they're trying to survive to get towards that top 5.
Fendi and Lymph have a more favourable zone, but Yeti not so much.
Yeti just got
He's
tagged.
Getting focused. He doesn't have any shields. His teammates down. Yeti's by himself.
They have those stink bombs that I was saying were coming into play in the early game, but never in the late game.
He's all alone here in this world, and pre-depression might snuff him out. No, choosing to go like over the river. Actually, we still see a mech.
That's because
mech is still causing havoc on pre-depression. Now might upset his game, but no, pre-depression breaks the mech. There's so many builds. Pre-depression still has max middle, trying to just box up, get that middle. People aren't going to contest middle as much as they would contest wood. Middle is so strong, perfect for turtles.
Pre-depression has been surviving so well. They had to encounter that Brute, and they managed to get out of that situation cleanly.
We still see Moose alive as well. This back and forth from pre-depression and Moose looks like it's going to go on. They've both made it to endgame again.
Exactly. We can't know who's going to walk away with this right now. We have a lot of the players who have actually been securing those top spots. So it could be anyone game right now.
But here we see Vascology with just 1 kill and not many materials. He has the loot, but he doesn't really have enough mats. He's going to need to pick up an elimination here, which is very hard for a solo to do. It's very hard to 1v2, especially not with many mats. He's building too much. He needs to build a little bit less. He still has 200 mats, but that's not very much.
That's only 22 builds, and whether or not that's actually going to be enough for them in this final zone is anyone's guess.
I doubt it, because this zone is moving in just 3 seconds now. He's going to be forced over to other players and forced out into the open because of the lack of mats.
They're going to try to go for the pyramid build possibly and try to get a connection over the other side.
Players below him, shockwaving out. He doesn't have builds to save him. Attacking it. A Peely here. The Peely takes him down.
Absolutely cleaned out. An unfortunate outcome for their player.
Here we see height being established and fought for. Miner Boy's taken away from Ms. Rims, and Marley taking height now. Look at that middle base as well. That isn't getting broken down anytime soon.
Lymph and Fendi have just been built around because no one really wants to push into that.
Moose taking heavy damage, one of our favorites, but could spell the end for him.
There we see Blow get some shields off their teammate Chinga. Of course, these two are in the top 10 at the moment. That means right now they've got a good chance of securing some cash at the end of this game.
We see Chinga still has full shield, full health. They haven't had many engagements. They don't have many mats, and I mean, they're holding strong though. They're getting those placement points.
It looks like Fendi and Lymph still have that high zone, and there's possibly Rens right above them.
Here we see Yeti getting dropped on with a junk ripped as well. We see Lymph on the mid ground. This zone is getting very small very quickly, but 13 players still remain.
We're unsure of who actually has the heals to survive this right now. Everyone's trying to tunnel across.
You see Moose flying up, a very brave man. He doesn't have a lot of HP, and Cal goes down to miss rims, securing a second kill. That makes 3 total with his teammate. They still have a launch pad. They still have 6 shockwaves, the maximum you can hold.
And just a reminder to chat out there at the moment. Our current top 10 is WRA, Vandal, and Luigi, the Cracked Destroyers, Vexus, Rice, Depression and Unknown, Chinga and Blofy, Minority Fendi, Best of Both Worlds, Team Vask, 7-Eleven Workers, and Aim Assist.
And what a top 10 that is. I wonder if we'll see anyone come out on top, like this game or next game. These are going to be some deciding games.
These are the deciding games. And it's been interesting. Some of those players in there we haven't really seen in the mix, but of course there's also been some standouts, like the Minority boys, the WRA boys, and of course, Depression Unknown.
They've been making a lot of noise and making a big name for themselves.
They really have. Renz is holding some really great high ground there.
Jungler's coming out, not on them though, on the mid ground actually. They don't have to worry about the junglers quite yet, but there's definitely still some in play.
Renz has some really interesting loadout right now of how that mobility is going to come into play, considering they've got high ground.
Here we see that full mate coming into play as well. We're top 7, top 5 gets another 30 points, and that Victor Royale gets another 60. Here we see Moose still alive.
Oh, Blofy has just been taken out at the bottom there.
Still holding strong. Moose, against all odds, he's a solo. He doesn't have shield. He must be running low on mats, but he's still alive. Lo and behold.
Survivability must be Moose's game. Chinga's now getting cleaned out at the moment.
Moose now shield. Marley taking names from high here, just beaming up the plays. Look at this high distribution. Marley and Miss Rim's way up high. Looks like Chinga just got thrown into Storm.
And there we see fantastic junk rift usage. Incredible.
Marley getting knocked down, another junk rift coming into play. I hear them spam. It looks like another, it sounds like another 2. These guys are being very careful here. And now we have 5 teams just remaining.
How they managed to reconnect when that junk rift came through so beautifully is anyone's guess.
Moose holding strong on the low ground. Minus say doesn't have any shield actually though. We might see an engagement from them. Here we see Pre-Depression, another very consistent player with not as many kills this game, but I mean, 2 still a decent amount.
2 is still a decent amount. That's enough to give them enough points to keep pushing them towards the top. And of course, we can see their Pre-Depression and Botland together have 3 elims all up. That gives them another 60 points.
Look at this. Pre-Depression has the campfire. Here's the chug splashes, and he's ready. Look at that. Actually, he's going up. He's fighting. He doesn't want to heal. He wants to fight. Doesn't get any shots on there. Pre-Depression. He's panicking now. Look at the panic. He's getting these. He's got the campfire down. He's getting the chug splashes down. We see Mighty Fendi still on high, taking heavy damage. I don't know if Pre-Depression will hold that. We see Moose on low ground also going down. Pre-Depression might just go down as well, but no.
Pre-Depression gave the game to Fendi. That's twice now in today's tournament that we've seen Pre-Depression survive to pretty much top 5 and unfortunately lose it.
And the Mighty Boys getting a very well-deserved win. Very well-deserved.
It's very well-deserved. The Minor Boys have actually been playing so fantastically today. So to see them secure that match 4 win is really, really impressive.
We've been seeing a lot of aggression out of them, actually. You really do love to see it. They're getting placement as well, though, kills and placement. This could be a great comeback story.
And I think that's really unfortunate on Pre-Depression's part. That's 2 games today that they've held that final zone so fantastically and then just lost it in some way.
Pre-Depression has been a very consistent player, but when it comes to actually getting the win, he succeeded once, but can he do it again?
And they only succeeded that one time because, of course, they were patient, they waited it out, and they managed to secure that win. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens next.
Let's see if he can make some more noise.
So we have one more match left in the LPL Mid-Winter Cup. Join us back here after the break to see what happens with that final match. Kia ora and welcome back to the LPL Mid-Winter Cup featuring Fortnite presented by Pringles. I am Jordan Tinney, joined here. Welcome back everyone to the LPL Mid-Winter Cup. I'm Jordan Tinney, joined here by Joel Strykerr Simpson. Joel, how's it going, my friend?
Very good, thank you, Jordan. I'm very excited to see this current standings.
Yeah, we are 4 matches down, rolling into match 5. We've had match 1 was won by Vandal and Luigi. Match 2 was Moose and Mania. Match 3, Pre-Depression got that with Botland, and match 4 was Fendi and Lymph. And we might possibly have some of these standings coming up right now. And there you can see number 1, we have Vandal and Luigi. Massive amount of elims on them. Number 2, Depression Unknown. Number 3, the Cracked Destroyers. Number 4, Minority Fendi. Number 5, Vexus Rice. Number 6 is even 11 Workers. 7 aim assists, 8 Chenga and Blofi, 9 Team Basque, and number 10 is Minority, Brad and Sad. Look at that elim count on Vandal and Luigi.
That is crazy. There's definitely a lot of comeback potential as well, though. Like, look at how far behind Depression Unknown is. It's only 40 points, and then only 20 behind them is the Crack Destroyers. There's definitely a lot of comeback potential here.
Crack Destroyers, if they secure themselves a victory royale in match 5, that could push them into the lead.
For sure. And of course, like, players can make up a lot of points just by getting kills.
Yeah, and we see the Minority Fendi boys down there in 4th place with 1 victory royale, and see, as you can see, the elims may not necessarily count towards pushing you into that top tier.
I think Luigi and Vandal are in a very, very good position as well here. We haven't seen any one team gotten 2 victory royales yet, but we might see it soon in this final game.
The way Vandal and Luigi have been playing, they could actually secure that 2nd victory royale, which would just push them right to the top of the list.
That's right. They've been very consistent players, along with Moose and along with Pre-Depression as well. Very consistent.
As you can see, that's reflected with Depression Unknown standing in at number 2. And the Crack Destroyers, I'm not too sure who those 2 players are, but 15 elims. That's a huge
15
amount.
eliminations, no victory royales. Maybe they've gotten quite a few.
So that's
Pina Colada and Burger, who are the Crack Destroyers. They've been playing very well and fragging out a lot, getting those placement points. No wins yet.
No wins,
but still a lot of placement.
They've been the ones who have been getting the most kills. Of course, Poop Burger, 93, got 6 elims in that first match. So that's what's helped keep them in the top 5 position.
For sure. Eliminations really help keep up like other players that haven't quite made it to the end game yet. A lot of players can really frag out and make up all the points that they missed out on.
Well, the standings may make it look like that, you know, number 1 has that spot. Vandal and Luigi could lose it all here. So here we are in match 5, the final match for the day in the LPL Mid-Winter Cup. Where are we dropping, boys? It looks like everyone's going to Pleasant Park.
We might see if you're going to Pleasant, and we actually see Moisty Palms as a hot drop. I don't know if we'll see any players go there. It's very far away. There happens to be a llama there too, though.
That is some low RNG, only 1 hotspot zone in this game.
We still haven't seen any Greasy endgames or any Moisty Palm endgames. No upsets.
I want to see those in play. I'm especially a fan, as you guys may know out there in chat, of Greasy Grove's Taco Time. If you don't know what Taco Time is, the zone will randomly activate everyone dancing, getting shield and health back, and invincibility, because Taco Time must be enjoyed by all. We're on Minor Lymph at the moment, and we've just seen Descend Judo go down.
And Minor Spider, one of the more quiet Minor boys today, but I mean, all the same, we might see some noise here.
Exactly. So Minor Spider's healing up there. They were the one who lost their teammate Descend Judo to that fight that just occurred.
See Minor Spider just watching and waiting and listening and trying to find an opening. He actually collects the card. He might just try to run away here.
Will we see our first res in this game?
We haven't seen any reboots. Players are very aggressive and they opt to fight instead of rebooting. Takes a shot here now down to just 11 shield. So that's at 100 HP and just trying to get mats, trying to get anything, any advantage that he can. Chug splashes. That's a good find. Another 40 shield for him, back up to 51 shield. Minor Spider just trying to collect some mats.
As we always see with OCE, it is monk or be monked in this, and that's what just happened to Spider. They just almost got monked there. Now we're with the previous winner, Fendi.
Minor Fendi and Minor Lymph in a very interesting spot here next to your favourite Haunted Hills.
Hey, I love Haunted Hills, and I love these houses. They have some great loot in there.
And unfortunately,
Spider has gone down. We've just lost Spider.
Back up to Fendi and Lymph, kind of struggling a little bit for shield, or at least Fendi is here. Minor Lymph just picked up 50 shield.
We've also just seen some boogie bombs picked up, which
actually 4 boogie bombs.
4 boogie bombs, that's 2 stacks. I've been waiting for somebody to actually use them in an encounter today, but we haven't seen it yet.
We really haven't seen them. Well, we have seen a lot of those junk rifts. They have been a very, very strong and very powerful tool to just swing the end game in their favour.
Komaya's Trash has just taken out Fresh and Coles. That's an incredible take there.
Incredible 2-piece right there. And here we're joined in Lucky Landing with our current leaders, Luigi and Vandal.
It is no surprise. It is no surprise to see them in the zone. This has been very, very lucky for them, Strykerr.
It really has. However, what's not so lucky is the current zone. They've gotten zone in Lucky Landing quite a few times, but this game is different.
It's very different. And as you can see, Playtech and Iversity have actually played this zone in the few previous matches that we've had. So I'm wondering if they're actually going to push in and try to go for kills, or do they actually even know if Vandal and Luigi are there?
100% they know. They would be moving around. They're sitting in this building. They're watching. They're waiting. They're trying to get a pick. They're trying to get some early chip damage in. Vandal doesn't want to push. Hey, look at his loot. It's not very good.
It's not great at all. It got some minor mobility, which may push them outside of this fight, but with the way Playtech and Iversity are playing, they want these elims.
These players right here, they're on a time limit. They need to move for zone. They have just over a minute now, and they need to do something. They need to engage, otherwise they're going to be stuck in Storm, and they're going to lose the fight either way.
It would be a huge upset if they actually do manage to take down Vandal and Luigi, who are the current #1 in our standings.
Also, we do see Luigi has a purple tactical SMG. We've seen it so much. Vandal gets lasered. We're going to see a push on that. So Luigi is putting on some pressure. Actually, one of those plays is very, very weak. In fact, one shot, Luigi is pushing up. Probably told Vandal to do the same thing. Vandal pushing up as well. We might see an impulse use here, but no, Vandal already has a high. Luigi and Vandal, as we've seen them before, always have that high ground.
Their teamwork is outstanding, and they've managed to box in these two YT members.
Vandal takes a big hit. He's controlling the fight, though. He's trying to get an angle. Actually finds one. Vandal gets
been
both.
dropped. And that's it. Vandal and Luigi have managed to
actually
survive.
won the kill each. Now the spoils of war, Luigi and Vandal.
They've also secured
shields.
1 elim apiece, so they both worked for it. They both managed to get their box fight going in their favor.
And here's the replay here. Vandal and Luigi, look at this, immediately just establishing the height. This is our fight, we're in control.
That was just outstanding work, and they managed to push down to that box so quickly. Good waterfall from Vandal to hold that side wall. The YT boys tried to push through.
Vandal does eat one shot, but no, that's not the final shot. Vandal takes down both of the SMG spray as well.
Absolutely massive, and as you were saying, they didn't have fantastic loot, but it worked in their favor.
It really has. Look, 42 players still remaining. We're still a long way from placement points, but these guys have elimination points.
They've got those 2 elims, which is going to give them an advantage and push them further and further away.
Look at this hoverboard in the middle of Lucky Landing. Got to be a little worried he's going to fly off the map or something.
The Vandal just wants to relive their Tony Hawk days so that they can be excited about what will be coming if they manage to secure the win.
Look at the zone. This time limit that I was talking about before, these guys need to move, and soon. If someone holds them out, this could be a very, very complicated game for them.
Exactly. We see those people up in Haunted Hills, and a couple of people still hanging around Loot Lake and Pleasant Park. I wonder if that res was secured.
We actually do see a team in Moisty Pumps. They need to move, though. They're still there.
We've also got 2 out in Gus and towards Lonely Lodge.
Wow, the miss for Bird, a major whiff on Meesport. Meesport just has an extra life, I guess.
Meesport had that shield bubble in their favor. I think it actually saved their life right there.
Bird would be very disappointed after missing this. Might get a redeeming opportunity, but no, look at these shield bubbles. There's 4 shield bubbles. The movement out of the water, it can be very, very hard to move around in that water, but I mean, the shield bubble helps out a little bit.
Shield bubble does help as
we see Lurker lurking about in that ship, a bit of a stowaway there. Bird eats a big shot.
Hit.
Bird definitely going to be backing off here. I wonder if we'll see the campfire and Yusei gets a perfect 50 health from it. But no, moving over to these chug splashes. We see Lurker again. That stowaway just on the ship, just lurking.
We've got 3 different parties involved here. We've got Majestic and Lurker, Twitch, Meesport, and of course we had Bird and their teammate over the other side.
We see a junk rift coming out, but no, it's not Meesport's time to go. He still has 13 HP though.
Shout out to Saint_PV in chat. Let's go Miner Boys. The Miner Boys have indeed been playing strong.
Finally fighting that losing battle and eventually does lose.
Miner Sad.
Yeah, we see Miner Sad, one of those said Miner Boys who have really been putting on a show today.
They have, along with Fendi and Lymph, they've been putting in a really strong tournament play today.
Look at all the shields on Miner Sad. He has 4 minis, 3 chug splashes. He even has shield bubbles.
No shield. No, they do have those shield bubbles getting... What are they going to use them for, though? Will they use it to get across that water?
They're just saving them, I guess. We do have a very interesting zone here. We may see these Miner Boys holding all these other players, which need to rotate over the water. The zone's pushing them in, and the water is very hard to rotate over. These guys are in a very, very excellent position here. And we actually already see fighting going on the ship.
Schoolboy K and UDK are unfortunately getting cleaned out. They just landed in behind Majestic and Lurker, who were both on this boat themselves.
Bird getting us some shots. Well, Sad sits in his inventory. Lurker trying to lurk in the zone, trying to get in there. But Schoolboy and UDK are sitting in the storm. They need to get out. They need to get to zone, but over the water it's going to be very difficult to get to. Sad's actually pushing up.
Sad is trying to go in on Lurker right
He's
now.
trying to get Lurker.
There we see Schoolboy K.
Schoolboy K impulsing in. Still has a big pot and a mini shield. Going to get all that shield back, but that might not be enough.
I'm unsure if Schoolboy K actually had their teammate UDK come across with them with that shockwave.
These Miner boys are pretty unstoppable here, and we're seeing a major engagement here. Miner's had throwing some grenades in, might be able to make some leeway. Are we going to see a player go down? No, the grenades did not hit their mark. We see more, though, more grenades coming in from Sadwell. His teammate pushes up. Schoolboy K struggling on the low ground here, trying to get some height, but I mean...
They're not getting out of that zone.
They're not getting out of this. They have to fight this.
Sad is pushing in very, very heavily on that box.
Here we see a Junk Rift.
Junk Rifts have actually been...
Schoolboy K gets just sent flying, goes down.
I'm absolutely pumped with how much the Junk Rifts have actually been used today. Cleaning up a lot of builds that have been going up when people have been trying to turtle themselves off.
They've been dominating the competition, and here we see Sad and Minor still holding strong. Sad with the 1 elimination.
Minebird's coming back in to join Sad. Schoolboy K is actually down. There is no Elim on K, so if UDK is still there...
These players are not pushing up.
It looks like Schoolboy K has actually just been rezzed. Schoolboy K is being pushed by Lurker. Lurker has just been taken down.
Did Lurker just 2v1?
Lurker just 2v1.
2v1? He's not lurking, he's fighting.
And shockwaved out of there.
Lurking into those elimination points.
Just got away from the Miner boys, so they're safe. They've cliffed them. They've built themselves into a box on the cliff, healing up. Plenty of mini shields.
2 eliminations. Look at this. He needs to take these band-aids, but what he also needs to do is run from the storm. He has 2 minutes to move in, and he needs to start making a move now, which is exactly what he's doing. Might get a bandage or 2 off here, but he needs to get in. And here, joined in Junction, the opposite side of the map. Alpha Silent goes down. Miss Rem still carrying on the fight, though. Marley, very weak.
This is our first fight we've seen here today in Junction.
Look at that, Junk. A very strange place to have a zone, but, I mean, they'll take it. They're there.
Hey, it's far, far away from taco time and the prop hunt mechanic down in Moisty Palms.
It's just about as far away as you get. I guess these guys aren't a fan of the recent patches.
They may not be. We see Rens get back up to that top level. And are they trying to go down on... They've they managed...
Wow, that was a bullet dodged or a trap dodged.
They managed to secure them. Soxy did an incredible job of securing themselves there.
Soxy just such a force here, just forcing away Mr. Rens. Needs to heal now. Only 22 HP. They've got the shield, but that's not a lot of HP. Here comes the shield bubble.
I believe we just heard a Junk Rift get activated also.
I'd be able to find an angle, but no, the shield bubble tanks the shot. Soxy is actually by himself here. They're getting 2v1. Might take down Marley, but Marley's still holding strong. Rems is the player. He needs the fight. Rems doesn't have much HP as well.
Rens is super weak, but they want that kill on Soxy.
Soxy is holding strong down here. These players are... It's a 2v1, but they're so scared. They don't want to go in. Soxy's holding strong, though.
Rens has actually pushed off to grab some loot. Soxy's still just trying to keep themselves in place. Wearing that default Jonesy skin.
Look at these edits, Soxy. He has the potential to clutch us out and get those 2 kills. We're going to see it soon. He's running low on mats. Only has 7 builds now, and he's running out very quick. He needs to shoot back. He can't keep building forever.
He is playing both sides.
All right, you need to shoot him now. Almost takes down 1. That was a big hit, but goes down Soxy.
He got that window edit, and he almost had it.
Look at that, Marley. Down to just like 5 HP.
Marley put themselves on the line to make sure they secured that Elam.
He really did, but that was a tough 2v1.
Whether or not it's going to pay off for them in the long run, we'll have to see with the standings at the end of this.
Here we see Junk Rifts as well, shared by them Bloaf. Look at this hill. A huge hill, the one just outside of Pleasant Park and in between Pleasant Park and Haunted, rather. We see Chenga and Bloaf just...
They're just holding that zone. Doki and Trungsy are up on the other hill. Pika Squad is coming up the side with their teammate Kenji. And our second place players, Kalada, is healing up, and they have a nice yellow RPG.
Legendary RPG, that. They don't, you know what's not legendary, though? They're mats. Look at those, only 12 builds.
And Burger has just been taken out, leaving Pina Colada to actually try to secure...
Burger actually taken down by Lurker.
Lurker is lurking. You got to look out for them.
He lurked through the first few games, but I mean now he's making some noise.
Exactly. Collider is pushing around to get themselves into a safe spot. Pika and Kenji are just across from Doki and Trungsy, and they're pushing them now. They're trying to get them out of that turtle box. They're saying, hey, we're here. We want your heads. We want those elimination points.
They really, really do. All the elimination points are going to make the difference in this final game. These guys, they're just trying to get some chip damage, and we might see a snipe here from Pika. Oh, we see a huge snipe onto Kamai. A huge snipe. I don't think we're going to see the elimination, but that definitely slows down their rotation. Pika squad. What a snipe.
Komai has actually been crucial in breaking apart certain battles today. So it's interesting to see Pika get that heavy snipe on them.
Looking for a confirmed kill, but Pika Squad isn't going to find it. But I mean, that snipe, holy
heck! Shout out to Saint_PV saying, "Let's go, Brad and Sad," and of course Lymph and Fendi. That's Team Minor, and also shout out to Sam Jarman who says, "Shout out to Junkriffs." Junkriffs have been a weird tool today.
Junkriffs have been a very interesting tool. We see another snipe.
Big one on Komai again.
It is just not Komai's day.
It is not Komai's. This is also the final match, everyone. So Pika is pulling it all out. They want that higher spot.
It really is. Komai is never going to look at a heavy sniper the same way again.
You gotta hate to see it when you get that 150 pop on you. Oh,
we do see the first whiff from Pika.
Asuke was trying to get away from it, and Pika managed to whiff it, leaving Asuke in a safe position.
That's heavy sniper. A tool to get into boxes, but a tool that can also just be used like a sniper.
One body shot gets you that 150 damage. If they have no shield, they are going down. When now
we see a hoverboard with a shield bubble attached, a very effective way to rotate through the mid game.
We are now seeing a Pomali start to push up towards the higher ground.
He's running low on mats though. Look at these mats. He's only got 10 builds. And there's a mech right here. He's sitting next to it. What is going on? What a mess. Mali now has completely run out of builds and
runs into
down
Minor Brad.
Minor Brad.
Who is that in the brute? It looks like it's ASA 123 Picky.
It is. On the low ground here, trying to get up on this hill, which has just been dominated by Osti and Joshi. Look at these builds.
We've also somehow lost Minor Sad, who's losing health rapidly as they're in the knockdown position. Osti OG and Joshi_NZ have a really good high ground right now.
This, we see mechs, we see Junkriffs. I think this is the only mech remaining. If this mech is eliminated, then I don't think there's going to be any more mechs. It'll be a clean game.
I wonder if it could be used in a good SD position, but Tobacco, who is ASA's teammate, has managed to get into that brute.
Oh, this brute is getting beamed now by Joshi and Osti, but all those builds might come down soon to this mech, and some do. Also, Osti getting tagged for 50 shield.
And we're pushing across towards Doki, Trunks, Viscology, Botlin, and Asuke.
Here we see already some hype being established, and Viscology on the edge of the map. He knows he's not going to get fought much out there. Here we also see Pre-Depression, one of our most consistent players, off down to the right there, just scrimming the house out ops instead of going for the hill. His house is fine.
House is fine. They're all holding that lower ground. It looks like Botlin and Pre-Depression have actually managed to secure one of those houses. Viscology's off in the background there.
That hill is really what you want to be. Look at that zone. That hill is just in, and it's going to have a huge vantage point over every other player in the match right now.
It's going to be interesting to see whether or not it actually plays out in their favor, though. If the zone does suddenly change on them, that hill might be a detriment to them.
The zone actually does pull forward off of the castle hill as well, so all of the so Joshi and his teammate will need to push down from there.
And they'll lose mats having to burn down a waterfall to try to survive that fight.
Here we see Blow. Look at the shields. That's a lot of juice.
They have a lot of juice. They're ready for some final encounters.
Joshi with a little bit less juice, but he's got the builds though. Joshi just with 47 HP though.
47 HP. That's not enough to survive in these final zones. They have no shields. If they do manage to secure an Elam, they may get some good loot out of it.
Joshi with only 62 HP, just trying to find a safe place. Wait, Tobacco's gone down. We see him getting picked on by Asa right now, just getting sprayed down.
Do we have a bush? We have a bush, boy.
Bush.
Ms. Renz is holding. Ms. Renz is playing safe. They're going for the. Hey, the bush will give them survivability. That'll give them points.
I wonder if anyone will snuff it out.
That has been out. It's taken 5 matches, but that's our first bush boy.
We have. I wonder if, I mean, we haven't seen any boogie bombs. We haven't seen any prop hunting. We haven't seen any taco time.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got our first bush.
Yeah, we've got our first bush boy in the game, and it's only taken 5.
Okay, there's another consistent player. Moose, interestingly, only... Oh, there we go. Now, there's his other guns. I was wondering why he only had that heavy sniper. Moose with only 1 kill. He's really been gunning for placement. That's been his strategy over this whole entire series.
Placement can give you points.
He's just been going for placement.
Exactly. We've still got pre-depression and botlane out there. Kenji's pushing in towards their teammate Pika.
We see height being established as well by, looks like, Yorab. Pre-depression just underneath him as well, with his teammate Botlane staying right up and close. And teams really aren't fighting here. They're kind of just establishing their position, trying not to fight, because they know if they fight, that third party's going to come out.
Yeah, Asuke, who lost their teammate Komai to some outstanding sniping from Pika, is pushing in on the outside of the zone.
Here we see Moose getting pressured. Actually, off to the right, we saw the bush camper as well. Moose getting tagged heavy. And that bush camper, Blueface has no idea where he got shot from. No, but the bush camper's building now.
Has managed to build out.
Miss Reds now.
Blueface is going to feel a bit interesting about that because, hey, I just got tagged by a bush boy.
Bush camping is not something that we've seen very much of, but you'll have to see it.
Hey, it's a strategy, as they say, and this final zone is moving in quickly. We have a lot of low ground builds.
It looks like Yorab is the only player on height. No one's really contesting it. I mean, that's obviously because Luigi and Vandala did. They were always on height, but not this game.
No, we've lost them. Whether or not that was a confidence thing or did they just run into an encounter that they just didn't have the best positioning for.
And we see a view of everyone left. We see pre-depression up to the right, and those middle builds, it's a very, very good strategy to use your stronger materials the later on in the game. This middle is going to be very hard to see through. Those wooden planks are very easy to see through. You can see who's inside, you can see them moving around, but not the middle.
Not the middle, and their edits, you know, if you just edit in, edit out, it'd be great to see.
Can we still see pre-depression with 2 junk rifts and 3 medkits? If we can see pre-depression pick up a campfire, we're going to see some very strong heal game out of him.
Exactly. Pre-depression has 133 builds still to burn through also, and a couple of junk rifts just to mix up their final game, I guess.
We've seen a lot of junk rifts out of pre-depression. He's really been like making them. He's really been making them work.
There we go. We're starting to see all those tunnels come across now. Moose still holding that low ground.
Moose. Among all odds, he was getting focused by a grenade launcher sprayed out, but he still rotates in. Moose
is all about survivability. Yorab is still holding that top ground. No waterfall, so we could... I'm wondering where Yorab's connection is.
And we see a fight on the low ground, that SMG coming into battle, but it's not really getting shots through. Pika squat, his sniper's not going to be that useful at close range.
Shout out to Miss Pandemonium in chat, who's calling on Viscology to push and go for that win.
Viscology has been playing really safe, playing around the edge of the zone, but there's not much of an edge here. There's a lot of players very close to each other, and we're going to go to the final zone soon.
It's pushing and pushing and pushing, and we're on a Doki and Trungsy, who
here we see some major height from Bloth and Chunga. They're so high up. Look at that.
That is a really, really extreme build. I'm wondering where the connections are. But it doesn't look like they've got anyone who can actually push towards them.
Well, there's one thing that can happen to them, and it's the junk rift. The junk rift could definitely upset that high ground, and I mean, as we saw before, pre-depression still has 2 of them.
Pre-depression still has 2, and they haven't used them. That could just clean out this whole zone if used correctly.
Chunga actually has a shield bubble. I'm very interested to know that. Does the shield bubble block a junk rift?
I guess we'll find out if they use it right.
We'll see.
I suddenly had to question myself. I was like, does a shield bubble actually block?
I actually see Chunga and Bloth with 0 kills. They're going for placement. We're in a top 10 situation right here.
There we go, Bloth and Chunga. They still have that good high ground. We're seeing botlane and pre-depression have actually been separated now.
We see Troxy actually trying to push for some height, but unsuccessfully.
Okay, botlane and pre-depression have reconnected.
We're going to have to watch pre-depression very closely here. When he chooses to use these junk rifts is when the action really happens here. He can decide the fate of some of the other players in these lobbies just with those junk rifts.
Exactly. If it gets down to a single build, he may have to sacrifice himself to actually secure this win.
And the zone is getting smaller, and that win is coming soon. See, Bloth and Chunga still holding high. No one's contesting them. Players are just stalling. They're trying to find chip damage, but they're playing their HP. Here we see Trogsy, who actually has 100 HP still, along with quite a few other players.
They only got bandages though, whether or not that's actually enough.
The bandages is definitely not a lot. Whiffs the pump shot, but gets a few SMG takes, gets dropped down. Trogsy in a safe spot again. Look at the ammo.
We still haven't seen any of those junk rifts that Pre-Depression may have.
And here we see that high distribution. Players are getting really close, and we might see a junk rift very soon.
The thing is, if Pre-Depression actually gets underneath this all and just throws the junk rift directly above them, that'll pull everything down.
That's right. Here we see Moose, one of our most consistent players. I think I just heard a junk rift as well. No, it was a shield bubble.
We see a shield bubble in the middle.
Okay, we're going to see the shield bubble. That zone is getting really small, really quick. Then we see a junk rift.
Junk rift has just come through.
And it goes through, and Chinga is dead, and so is Blow. Doki's on a high now, but in Storm taking heavy damage.
We're losing a ton of players.
We lost a lot of players. Doki went down there, just like that. That junk rift really just...
It also cleaned out a few people.
I don't know if we'll get this mid kill off. He doesn't have the HP, goes down. Trogsy, still with 54 HP, popping bandages. Maybe the bandages are enough.
It's all survivability now.
We also had Moose out of here, Trogsy and Kenji in a heal off, looking for each other, finding Kenji. Gets the win.
And that was it.
Kenji with 0 kills, but the win.
That was incredible. I had no idea what was going to happen in that final zone. That was actually insane.
Just a hive of activity.
Oh my gosh! So as you could see, that final that was insane.
That was an incredible few last moments. Yeah. Those junk rifts are really, really strong.
It was very hard to track to see what was actually occurring. It looked like everyone was avoiding encounters with one another, but then those junk rifts came into play.
That's right. A lot of players were just trying to play their HP, but I mean, those junk rifts, they just cause mayhem.
It looked like it cleaned out at least 3 blocks on the top of the build and pushed everyone together.
Oh, they really did. They forced players to fight each other, and that zone getting that small.
Yeah.
Man.
It was actually insane. So, of course, with match 5, we saw somebody else win from our top 4. We're going to add break now as we calculate those standings so we can tell you guys who walks away with that Duos Cup today. Welcome back everyone to the LPL Mid-Winter Cup featuring Fortnite and presented by Pringles. We are broadcasting live out of the Sky Tower in Auckland City. I am Jordan Tinney, joined here by Joel Strykerr Simpson. Joel.
And thank you, Jordan. Here we have the final standings.
Actually a massive and potential upset. We've seen the number 1, match 1 was won by Vandal and Savage. Match 2 was won by Moose and Mania. Match 3 was Pre-Depression and Botland. Match 4 was Fendi and Lymph, and match 5 was Kenji and Pika. And here is the actual standings of where we've ended up. This is number 1, Vandal and Luigi. Lost it to Cracked Destroyers. Cracked Destroyers. And Cracked Destroyers was Doki and Trongs. Joel, what do you think of that?
It's an absolute upset. Vandal and Luigi were they were dominating, but just taken out by the Cracked Destroyers, who actually interestingly had no victory royales, but they still had that consistent eliminations, 20 eliminations total, and they also had that consistent placement.
We were also seeing Doki and Trongs always showing up. With Vandal and Luigi and Depression Unknown, as you guys can see, they've ended up on the same score of 910 points. That means a 2nd and 3rd will be pulled together and then split between those 2 duos. Same with 4th and 5th with POV and Minority Fendi. They've ended up on 750 and they're going to be teamed, that pool is going to come together, increasing their prize pool and then being split between the 4 of all of them. Just an insane change in that final game.
It really was. The Cracked Destroyers just came out of nowhere and just took it. We've seen Depression Unknown. They were really consistent as well, but I mean, not quite enough.
We really noticed it though when we were pointing out that we didn't see Vandal and Luigi there in those final zones of match 5.
They were in every end game except for that last one, and that's what cost them it.
It's what cost it. So I'm super interested, like I was saying to you, I wonder who actually cleaned out those 2, Vandal and Luigi, who were always landing at Lucky Landing. They managed to secure the fight that we saw them on, but then they disappeared off the map.
I guess they didn't get very lucky after that.
No, the luck had run out with them in a Lucky Landing. And of course, Doki and Trongs. Trongs was one of our highest kills in the match 1.
He was. It totally makes sense that he made a comeback there, but no one saw it coming.
It was just super consistent from them. Again, we've been really reinforcing the idea of survivability, and that paid off for a lot of players out there today.
It really did. There was a lot of consistency, like across the top 3 teams.
It's just really, really unfortunate that Vandal and Luigi didn't walk away with that top prize, but they got pulled together. Second and third coming together, and then split between those duos. That's pretty tidy for them.
That is very tidy. That's 200 each. The prize money pulls together to 800, and then split among the two teams. That's 400 each. Then split among the players to 200 each. That's still a very sizable
That's
prize.
a tidy amount to walk away with. Favorite bit of action there, Joel? What did you think? What was your favorite piece?
Those two snipes against Komai was so clean. In that final game, man, Komai's never going to look at a heavy sniper the same way again.
Sorry for Komai. We're going to bring that clip up. If you guys missed it, here we see Pika Squad. Get ready for that shot. And as you can see, they line them up.
And there it is, 375 damage.
375.
To the dome.
Absolutely massive. We see...
And that's just the start.
Yeah, Asuke went there to get them.
And here's number 2.
Because Komai did get rezzed.
And down again.
150, only a body shot, but it was enough.
But still, back-to-back snipes.
That was actually an incredible piece of action brought to us by Pika against Komai, and it's just so unfortunate. You know, another favorite play of mine was we saw in the early matches, UDK got clean pumped.
That clean pump shot. But,
Absolute 180. It was unfortunate. There were just a lot of use of the Junk Rift too. I think the Junk Rift is the unsung hero of the day.
The Junk Rift was just the star of the show. It upset so many games, and it changed so many end games, especially in those final zones.
It became really crucial in breaking down those final builds that we'd see in the end zone. Pre-Depression was holding on to a lot of them in that final
definitely
zone.
used. I wonder how many he used today.
Oh, yeah, we've seen a lot of fights where we were just seeing Junk Rifts come out of nowhere.
We really were, especially on that game where he got 8 eliminations. That's a very, very huge game for him.
And they didn't have any help from their partner during that game, as they lost their partner in the early game.
He was all alone.
Again, big shout out and congratulations to Doki and Tarongs, who walk away with that $1,000 prize money. That is actually insane. So if you guys are going to join us tomorrow, we will be doing the Mid-Winter Cup solos. How do you think that's going to change up, Joel?
I think solos are going to be completely different for one reason. There's no junk rifts. Tomorrow it's going to be a different game. There's going to be moving zones. There's potentially Storm Surge, but no junk rifts. That's going to change the game completely.
If we do have that arena format against the solo players, everybody's going to be forced to go super aggressive with basically the basics of Fortnite in terms of meta.
However, with that meta, we didn't see much of it today, but we may see it tomorrow. The moving zones may go through Greasy, and they may go through Moisty too.
Exactly. We didn't see much of the Taco Time or the Moisty Palms prop hunt mechanic, but I hope we see that back tomorrow at 12 o'clock during the LPL Mid-Winter Cup featuring Fortnite presented by Pringles Solos rounds. You will join myself, Jordan Tinney, and Joel Strykerr Simpson back here tomorrow for that. Thank you all for joining us so much, and again, congratulations to Doki and Tarongs for walking away with that top prize.